What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another post-match fan show. We got Brains McLeod debuting on the fan show, debuted on the watch-along. How'd you find it?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I think we've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I said before the game, this is a free hit. Anything above a battering is very good for us. But you know what? I've left that game, or I've stopped watching that game thinking we should have won today, man. We should have won today.
Yeah, and that's even like the Conte effect on your own mental psyche. You know, it's like he's got us believing. You know, after a performance like that, you coming out at the end of that game, you're thinking, God, we could have done something there.
Yeah.
You know,
and it probably will leave us thinking, what could have happened if we put away those chances, because the performance today was absolutely brilliant from more or less every player, barring maybe a couple, but I think from top to bottom we were sensational today. Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Harry Winks. I mean, Harry Winks, like bloody hell, what a performance he put in today. You know, everyone, Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer, Ndombele was spraying the passes at times, but I expected more from Ndombele, to be fair. I think he could have probably produced more on the pitch today. But look, we performed very, very well today, and you can't really have qualms about the performance, but you can have qualms about the result.
A lineup that you might have thought was something that we would have put together for the Conference League.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it's come out like, no, we've actually had a really strong top four style performance. You know, so you got to be happy with that. For me, I'm like super happy with it. Yeah, I wanted to win at the end, but it's like that's when you're like, oh, okay, now we're in a privileged position. But for how panicky I was before the game to how I'm feeling now, just like a level of like
Zen.
You know, just thank God that we showed a good performance. We got a point that most teams for the rest of the season will not get, so it's a positive that way. So I'm like super happy with that. It'd be interesting to see what everyone thinks. But
can we use this as a springboard now to really chase that top four?
Yeah, I mean, like some of the best teams in the world are going up against Liverpool in the Champions League and not really getting anything. Like I think don't underestimate how strong a front line that is. You know, and how well we did at containing them.
How much credit do you give to the likes of Ryan Sessegnon, Ben Davis, for Mo Salah? I mean, where was he today?
Yeah, that side, we had that side locked down. I thought they did really well. It was really some moments I thought like it almost looked like someone was going to get the run on Ben Davies, and he just seemed to have like some sort of weird belief in him.
It's called the Conte effect, baby.
He just gets ahead and he does something. He gets a total or something, you know. And it's like, this is cool, you know. Like you just don't want good players with talent underperforming. You want players who are like good, but you don't know how good they can be, overperforming. And then that's, I think, what we're getting.
Absolutely spot on. Well, it's time to get some guests on. And before we do that, everyone scroll down and smash that like button, smash that subscriber button. We are on the march to 100,000. Just 1 second. Yeah, 1 second, Grandpa. It says excellent connection. We're back. All right. Sorry about that, guys, but we are back. Grandpa, I stopped you in mid-flow. Carry on, please.
Well, I was saying that you asked at the beginning of your broadcast what positives can you talk about, and I said the only positive is Conte's strategy, and it's Conte's strategy which we drew that game. But I think really we won. I think we had the best chances. We didn't have as many chances as they had, but our chances were the best chances. And we broke down their defence so easily by the passes that were coming through the centre. And that was really the interesting thing. Our defence really stood fairly tall. I thought in the first half, by a long way, Ndombele was the man of the match.
Really? Tanguy? You thought Tanguy was the man of the match in the first half?
No, Ndombele.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanguy and Ndombele.
Ndombele, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first half. I mean, he assisted the second goal.
Yeah.
And he also made two of the passes to the near goals we got. Also, he stopped a couple of passes in midfield.
Yeah.
I thought in the first half. The second half he died, as he usually does. He gets tired. I thought I thought the man of the match in the end really had to be Kane. I think his all-round play was just great, and he was in the game all the time, which we haven't seen so much of him before. And I put him the best. But there were so many good performances that I wouldn't like to pick too many other people out. It was great to see Sessegnon. I thought Sessegnon did very well.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, and he kept that the left side strong, and kept them out. Winks really also played well.
What did you think of people like Eric Dyer and?
Eric Dyer was putting some great through balls. I thought Dyer was good. They couldn't fault very many people, really, could you?
Yeah.
But Grandpa, when you're looking at some of the fringe players to come in, in the Europa Conference League games and some of the Premier League games, some people say you're trying to flog a dead horse with these kind of players, Harry Winks, Dele Alli, Davinson Sanchez, these kind of players. But they really pulled through for us today. So, I mean, how much does Conte actually need to spend in the transfer window if these players come good?
I think we'll always need backup. And we're going to have to build up from the bottom. The ones that are really bad, we need to build up. We still need to have some players, but we don't need to have so many players because of the Conte effect.
Yeah,
Conte has made, Davis. I mean, I don't know many people that didn't think Davis should go.
Yeah,
I think nobody would want Davis to go now. He played again. He played a good game. He was great.
But what about players like Dele then? Do you think after that performance, do you think Dele still has to go?
Again, I think he's bringing stuff out with Dele Alli. I think he really is. He played well today. He played well. He was all over the place. He made some good passes. He tackled well. He made a few mistakes, but basically he always will. But he's a worker in the centre there. And we haven't seen people like Brian Gill yet. I mean, I think Brian Gill is going to make a big difference in the centre there. And so many people we haven't seen. We haven't seen. Reguilon didn't have much to do today because he came on late.
So did you like that formation then? Playing with the 3-5-3-2. Did you like that formation better than playing with the three up front?
I like 5-3-2 with two good wing backs. I think the wing backs moving up very quickly, and then they get back into defence. And I quite like the 5-3-2 formation. I think it's very flexible, and it's the flexibility which we need. And we need to get into a defensive position very quickly, but then we need to get out of it. Some of the long balls that were going through. The long balls that were previously they weren't going through, but they were going through. They were great. The corners, we virtually did very well with our corners. We didn't get a goal, but we got close every time we had a corner this time. So I feel very positive going forward.
What were the negatives then?
The negatives, we didn't win. we didn't score.
That's a double sword one because we didn't lose, we didn't win, but player-wise,
I think morally we won, and I think probably Kane should have got a red card.
Klopp has been really upset about that after the game. Do you think that was definite red card for Harry Kane?
Yeah, it looked like it to me.
Yeah,
it looked like it to me, and particularly as VAR looked at it, VAR should have said that, as they did with their guy that got sent off.
Yeah,
I think they didn't give it because he was genuinely, if you look at, he was genuinely going for the ball and he didn't miss the ball by that much. Yeah. It was an intention to get the ball. It wasn't a nasty, you couldn't say like, oh, he's trying to hurt him. He did connect with his ankle in a bad position, but he was directly going for the ball. The ball moved and then his ankle's there, so it's kind of like...
Yeah, also it deliberately slowed down to get the foul. What some people are saying. But nevertheless, I think it was pretty close to being a penalty.
Yeah.
Is Harry Kane back now, Grandpa?
Pardon?
Is Harry Kane back?
Oh, yeah, he's obviously back, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's back because of Conte.
Yeah.
So all our balls are in Conte court at the moment, and I think that's really exciting for us going forward.
Amazing.
And I'm really hopeful now that I didn't think we had a chance of going top 4, but if we win the next 2 matches, we probably will be in at top 4.
Well, let's hope so, Grandpa. Let's hope so.
So that's great. It's good to see Brian Daigle coming on soon. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say.
It's interesting that one game like that, even though we don't win it, can make us feel like top 4 is actually a reality.
Nobody gave us hope in hell today. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody gave us hope in hell today.
And if we do well in games like that, then you think about the other games we got coming. If we play like that, even with that team lineup against a Leicester, we're most likely going to take the points. So it's interesting to see.
That's all theory, isn't it? Football doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't. Every game is a different game.
We can lose against a bad team, and we can win against a good team. After all, we beat City, didn't we?
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Very true.
And also, you got some players playing out of their skin in games like this because they want signed away from the club. Like Dele Alli probably wants to get signed right now, so he's going to give his damn best, and he's going to try, and you have to be thinking about it that way. Some players feel like, yeah, I want to win my way into this team, but also January's coming, and I want to do my best to also potentially get a way out. So that's what we might be seeing, the benefits of both sides of that coin,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been particularly true of Kane. He didn't. He didn't play well when you would have thought he would have been playing well so that he could get a good price. Now he's playing well. He might well get a good price if somebody wanted to buy him and we wanted to sell.
Yeah, especially if the next few games go well. Yeah. If he scores the next game and in the next game, you'd think, oh, okay, it was a blip,
Yeah, I wouldn't forget also the game Lloris played. I mean, I think
Lloris was brilliant
really
today.
Unsung hero of the day, I think. The saves he made in the first half, so important. The one from
against very, very good shots.
The one from Trent that was like a bullet, and he got his, and the one two from Trent. Yeah, the one came off his leg. That was another that's where Lloris is really unbelievable, isn't it? Like
I completely agree.
Split second.
But I say it time and time again. When Lloris leaves, we'll realise what a good keeper he actually was.
Very privileged to have one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll leave either.
I hope he won't.
At some point he's going to have to leave because he's getting on a bit. So I mean, his contract.
You tell James Milner that.
Yeah, you tell James. But Grandpa, it's always great to speak to you, especially after a performance like that. So I guess we'll speak very soon.
Sure. Okay.
Take care, Grandpa.
Cheers.
See you, Grandpa. Bye. That was obviously the great Grandpa Brian, and from one Brian to the next Brian. Let's bring on Brian Daigle. Mr. Daigle, how are you, my friend?
Very, very good, my man. What a performance and what a game. Something to be very, very proud of. At long last, incredible performance.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, we were speaking before the game. We were talking about Dele Alli being included. And you were like, no, here we go. How did you assess his performance?
So, I'm happy you asked me that question because, as everyone knows, I'm probably one of Dele's biggest haters. Anti-Dele. And, probably. Let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, one of the fiercest Dele haters. But listen, today was a much better performance. A performance that you can take something from. The one thing, there's 2 negatives that I've taken from that game, and they're only minor, is Dele Alli should have, I know it was a wonderful save from Alisson, but he should have just smashed that. That should have been a goal.
Should have gone the other side.
Bottom corner,
Yeah. And then his pass to Kane in the second half should have been a lot firmer. That is the only 2 negatives, and they're only minor because it was a great performance. When I criticise Dele, I've got to be man enough to say, listen, he played well. And today he did. And the only other criticism I have is Emerson has got to learn to cross. He's getting into these positions time after time.
Yeah.
It's great that he's getting into those positions and he's doing it. But the final ball is woeful. And for a fact, if that had been Robinson or Trent in the positions he gets in, not saying they go right to the man, but they get in the box to cause some kind of worry or maybe get a shot he's got to improve on that. And for me,
and it's also a bit late, isn't it? It's a bit late. It's like he takes a touch, takes another touch, and it's like you're pushing our players offside because they've made the run. Get it in either first time swing or just one touch, get it in. As soon as you take two touch, like you give the defender time to like, okay, get our bearings. Where's the man? He's there. Get it in. Get it in.
Agree.
That drives me nuts.
Like he's got, like I said, I mean, today we should take loads of positives because if that's what he can do with a half-fit team that we don't know who's had COVID and whatever, and he can get a performance like that, just imagine what he'll be able to do when everyone's back fit and firing. It was a brilliant performance. Was
today the real birth of the Conte era for you?
Do you know what? We've seen it in the last few games, and we knew it, but we all said this is the test. This is the real test.
Yeah.
And they stood up to it. When the second goal went in, they could have fallen down, collapsed, whatever. Today, they showed it. And today, I've been saying the whole time, to get the best out of Harry Kane, I think it has to be a 2. 3-4-3 doesn't work for him. And today, that 3-5-2 looked a lot better. Like you were saying at the beginning, that midfield was something you'd expect in the Europa League. And you're like, oh, my God. But each of them put in a shift. Each of them did a good job. I mean, Tanguy a couple of times with his showboating and whatever lost the ball. But you're going to get that with him. But that was a complete team effort. And I am so proud of each and every one of them.
Brian, do you think it really does come down to what formation you play? Like, do you think because you've got Lucas, who's really good, and he's on form sometimes, he can do a lot. You also have Højbjerg and Skip. Do you think that forces your hand to play with the 3 up front and 2 in the centre with the wing back? So you're forced to play the 3-4-3. You know, so today it's like you have 3. You have midfielders who can be attackers. You have people who can put the ball through, and you have one central defensive midfielder. That it kind of gives you a triangle attack, right? So, but we would say how many players, how many fans would argue that we want Skip and Højbjerg playing every game? So then you're probably not going to have the 3-5-2.
What I'll say to that, Brains, is obviously Conte, we all know he's ruthless. He'll make changes. He'll make a sub up during the first half if need be. He will change the formation and adapt. So I think
he'd sub his grandmum off the pitch. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the thing is, I think what he'll do is with Skip and Højbjerg, I think there's going to be games like if they were fit today, like match fit, you're worrying about the Liverpool attack and he'll play the 2 of them together. But I think there's certain games where that's not needed. And I think we could take a lot of confidence in how the back 3 played today. We wouldn't have thought it, but it's going to show that, listen, them 3 together are doing a great job. And as someone put in the comments in the live chat, I haven't seen Salah have a quieter game in a long time.
Yeah,
a long
100%.
time.
How much credit do you give to Davis and Sessegnon for that?
They deserve a lot of credit because no defence is being able to hold him. Listen, Davinson Sanchez again for me was brilliant today, especially that sliding tackle at the end. The anticipation to do that, I mean, that could have gone like Man City when he dived. He could have slided straight past the ball.
Face plant into the floor, mate.
Exactly. He could have done, but the reading of that, and I think the team are starting to believe in that defence. They're believing again that we're playing as a team.
That slide erased the silly step over thing he did in the first half. It was like, step over the ball and give it back to the guy. That was bad. But then that slide kind of like it erases these moments, you know? But I tell you what, if that step over resulted in a goal, we'd be pissed. But it didn't, so we give them the credit.
This is what I'm coming. Why they deserve a lot of credit is whenever they make a mistake, because they're 3 of the people that people are very Marmite with and want out, immediately they get so much stick shown at them. Immediately they're like, oh, it's Kane. Oh, no, sorry, Kane. It's Davinson, it's Davies, it's Dyer. But since they've been in that back 3, listen, defenders make mistakes. It's going to happen. And also,
everyone does,
with the first goal, okay, Davis miscontrolled the ball or whatever. But like I was saying with Emerson not getting the ball in, when Andy Robertson puts the ball in, it's going to a player. And the header from Jota is incredible. You can't fault that for bad defending or whatever. It happens. But as a team, the 3 of them have got a great understanding and you have to give them and Conte, like Grandpa said, a huge amount of respect and credit.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. But Brian, is it a point gained for you today or 2 points lost for you today?
Well, do you know what? I'm disappointed we didn't get the win. What a wonderful feeling for Spurs fans to say we're disappointed.
That's the privilege. That's the privilege.
But listen, if you ask every fan, if they said to you, you'll take a draw before the game, you would have said yes. You would have said yes. I mean, if you talk to people, I would imagine a lot of people would have said we're going to get hammered or we're going to lose. So remember when I came on Friday, Ben, when I landed, and you said, would you take the games in hand or would you take the 4 points, whatever? As I said, I thought Liverpool was going to be a defeat. All I want to see is a great performance. So the fact that we got a point, I would have taken that all day long. And I'm taking more from the performance than the actual point. That is something to say, do you know what? All Spurs fans can go into work tomorrow, or if they're working from home, and not be worried about the fact they should be proud of their team. Yeah. And literally, isn't it amazing how there's no West Ham spammers or Arsenal spammers in the chats tonight?
I wonder why.
Exactly.
What about Harry Winks today, Brian?
Do you know what? A lot better. Some of his passes were off. It was his pass that led to Son's goal. You could see some of his misguided passes going forward. You could see what he was trying to do. But we all moan that Harry Winks does not pass forward and he stops everything. And he did well. So listen, we thought that midfield was going to get completely overrun today, and they didn't. I suppose, as you said, Ben, I was talking to you beforehand, before the game, and I said to you, oh my God, that midfield frightens the death out of me.
Yeah.
But they put in a fantastic performance.
I'll tell you what, Brian, if some of Son's touches were on today, some of Harry Winks' passes would have been world class.
You know, in the first half, I always have this little bit of a niggle about Son, where sometimes he passes when he should shoot, and sometimes he should shoot when he passes. And today he got caught in that in the first half a couple of times. I mean, what I will say is, what a pass to Dele Alli to have that opportunity.
Amazing, yeah.
What a pass between three.
I'm just talking about specifically some of his touches, like beautiful balls through and just like missing or getting a toto and like not really getting a touch on. You know, I think that's unfortunate for Winks because some of those are complete. If he gets his foot on them and does, you know, like some of those are completed passes and they're like beautifully aggressive forward passes. Yep. Some of them are bendy. Yep. Some of them are like really cultured and clever. Some of them he did when he was under pressure, you know. And it's like, how do we fault that? You know, that's not Winks, and it's not really a fault of Son. But it's like we have to then give credit for Winks to actually, you know, having the skill to do that.
Exactly. I mean, like you said, there's not a lot of today. Everyone should be talking about the positives. Yeah. There are a couple of things that we can work on, but like we said, we've been ravaged by this COVID outbreak, and that's the kind of performance they're putting in. God knows how fit they all are because we don't know the details about who had it and where they are in it. It was a makeshift team. If you look at it, a lot of them started against Mura and put in a pathetic, appalling performance, and they've gone up against arguably one of the best teams in Europe, certainly the most informed team in the Premier League right now with City, and they put in a performance. We kept Mo Salah quiet.
Yeah.
Yes, he came into his own a bit, but that normally he is like taking games single-handedly and destroying teams. And then the Conte effect, and another great thing, the stadium, the 12th man was fantastic today. Absolutely fantastic. And again, it's the Conte effect. It's unbelievable. I will go to bed tonight, watch Match of the Day 100 times, and be proud to do it.
You'll never get a bed of that, right?
Have you ever been happy with a draw?
Do you know what? It's there's ones where I've been like, I'm happy we got the draw, but like I said, I mean, I can't remember. Like I think Brains was saying just before when he said Man City, yeah, it was a good performance, but I can't remember a solid team performance like that for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
Completely
that
agree.
draws a win, and it feels like a win.
It feels like a win, yeah.
Without a doubt. And let's grab it. I mean, what a game as well. That was arguably one of the best games of the season, if not the.
Well, it's between that and Man City, and I would probably say we played better in this game than we did in that Man City game.
No, I'm talking about in the Premier League, not just for us.
It was very end to end, wasn't it? It was like. Yeah. It was like heart rate. I mean, it was sitting here. It was like you constantly feel your heartbeat going. It's like shit. Like one minute we have a clear edge chance. Next minute we're like they're having shots. It's like Hugo's having to save the day. That's kind of, you know, you don't want that up and down, but that's kind of like, you know, we've given them that game. And what did you think about Klopp? You know, after the game, the cheek of him to say, you know, how can we be forced to play these games? You know, it's like he's talking about a team. He's got a few players out. We had 13 players with COVID at one point. We're coming back from that. We've had players who have not been able to train more than 2 sessions, and he's going to moan about that.
Well, the thing you've got to take, I mean, Klopp, obviously, he wanted games. He even said, I don't want the games to stop because they should be played and get it going. He doesn't believe in it. So when it comes back to bite you in the arse, you ain't got a leg to stand on. And the thing is as well, the thing is with us as well, Klopp has got a lot of, like the big clubs do in the super clubs, and they have a lot of influence and a lot of power behind them. But now you're coming up against Conte. This stuff don't work. You want to go toe-to-toe? Okay, we've got someone that will go toe-to-toe with you and probably come out on the better side of it. So the days where people could bitch and moan about our manager or the team or whatever, I wouldn't do it because we've got someone that will give just as good as he gets, and he will make you look silly.
Yeah, well, Brian, it's always a pleasure having you on and looking forward to you sitting right here in this very seat. So hopefully we'll get to see you very soon in this studio. But look, always a pleasure, and especially in good times like this as well. So we'll see you very soon, Brian.
Exactly. And
see you on our road.
Debut, mate. We'll hook up this week for sure because you just live around the corner from me.
Literally 150 meters from each other, so yeah.
Oh my God, that's a little bit stalkery, but yes. Cool, brother. We'll meet up, and I will say it because he needs to back Conte in January. As always, Levy out.
Big up, Brian. Big up, Brian. Always great to hear from you, my friend. We got a super chat here from the Americanca saying we're undefeated under Conte despite no Romero, no Højbjerg, Corona outbreak, Skip, Reggie and Lucas on the bench, 2 weeks of no matches and out of form Harry Kane. Take the goddamn point. Conte is the king.
Hell yeah. That's probably the best super chat I've had in a very long time.
Big up the Americanca. And 100%. Let's move on to our next guest. And we're going to call him Flat Cap Sean today. Flat Cap Sean, part of the Flat Cap army. Big up, Sean. How's it going, man?
Oh, could slightly be better, but generally I'm far better than I thought we'd be, and I'm, 8 out of 10. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, all good, man. I mean, that game was a lot for the heart, wasn't it? I mean, it was non-stop the whole game, toing and throwing, great performances from a lot of players out there on the pitch. I mean, assess that game for me.
Assess that? That's a wildly broad question. Assess that game. I thought it was.
All right, let's broaden in it a little bit. What did you think?
I thought it was the best game that I've seen Tottenham play since Ajax. That's where I start. It was. I've never been
the first half of Ajax was dreadful.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there you go. Yeah. So maybe we can go back further than that. I haven't seen Tottenham play to a level where I was fairly comfortable the whole time. Like I was. It was a brilliant game. It was back. No, I'm not saying I'm comfortable. Like we've got this in the bag. But I felt like against the Liverpool team, when you have the expectations that you walk in, where you're going, oh Jesus, and we can get away from here with the draw, it would be a real result. Most of that game, I was sitting there thinking, we're going to win this, and we should have won this by 3 or 4
Ever
goals.
the optimist. Ever the optimist. I was
it's true. We should have won
this. 1-0, I was sitting there going, I really hope we don't lose this game.
No, I didn't feel like it though. I felt like Liverpool. I said this to you to you guys on the preview thing. I thought Liverpool didn't look good against Newcastle. They really didn't. And today I thought we came out, and I said to you guys, if Tottenham can start well, which we don't often do, but if we can start well and we can nick a goal or we can somehow, create something, then. There's no reason why this can't be a break of form against an awesome Liverpool team, notwithstanding they're the best team in the world or one of the best teams in the world, and we certainly aren't that. But I came into this game feeling like we have a chance, especially with all of the pre-match rumours around, Liverpool.
That's what I was going to say, Sean. Had you seen the lineup? Did you see the lineup? And you saw that lineup and thought, we have a chance.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, Brains. I did. I thought, I've said it. I said it on this channel, and I also said it on the Irish Hotspur. Liverpool without Virgil van Dijk are not the same team. They are not the same team. And then there was also these rumours that were flouncing around that Salah was out because of COVID, etc. That didn't.
He may as well have been, Brett. He may as well have been, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. And I was asked questions on different channels about like, oh, how do you feel about Reguilon being out and Sessegnon going to be in? I was like, I honestly think Sessegnon, like, I watched him in the previous game when he's back to full fitness now for the first time. He's back at Tottenham, fully fit, and for the first time in the last, I don't know what it is, 3 years, I've seen him, and he looks comfortable. He looks comfortable in a system that Conte's provided. And I'm no longer worried about left back. I love Reguilon, or left wing back. I love Reguilon, and Sessegnon looks equally comfortable in that role. And in the first 10 minutes, it was clear to me that Sessegnon, when we played those long balls, which I wasn't a fan of, because without getting off point, if you're going to put Ndombele in a team, then you don't pass the ball over his head, because he's not the best defensively. The only asset that Ndombele has, if he has one, is on the ball techniques and technical skill set. If you're going to throw it over his head into the channels, then you're running a risk of doing that against a Liverpool team that are very hard to get the ball off of traditionally. Long story short, I'm going off the point, but Sessegnon was superb, and immediately
do you see the facility of playing that ball? Like the reason behind it is like because obviously Trent is troublesome going back, so there's always going to be that hole. And the fact that Dyer wants to play that almost every game, today was like, okay, play it. But our feeling is almost always like, yeah, but like, can Sessegnon get there, take a good touch, and do something good with it? And a lot of the time he did. And not only that, he backed up Daigle and he fought for everything down that side. And he was also defensively sound. He kept Salah quiet.
You name me another makeshift left wing back who has ever kept. You name me another mainstream left wing back that's ever kept Salah quiet in the Premier League or the Champions League this season. Yeah. And I'll tip my flat cap to you. There hasn't been one. I think it's also got a lot to do with him and I like that sensation. But like I think it's got a lot to do with him working together really well with Ben as well. Like the two of them did a good job on Salah, not diving in. It was like when you saw the other side, when you looked at Emerson, it was just like, oh my God, Mane's going to beat him every time. He's just like, he's ready to dive in and he brings Mane down, But the other side, Sessegnon's just standing his ground. He's like, I'm going to match you pace for pace. You're not going to get by me. I'm just going to stand you up. I'm not going to do anything crazy. And then as soon as you do that, that's the book. That's how you write the book on players like Salah, who are like incredible shoulder droppers and like bat that way, like you just stand them up. They got nowhere to go. That's how you defend against them. And it seems so simple, but most of the time in this league, he's coming up against big, tall, left-sided, clumsy left backs or left central defensive guys. So it's like today you got like a low center of gravity Ben Davies, and you got like a wing back like Sessegnon who's going to like just go there and just shovel him out of the game. I think that's one of the big takeaways of the game. Yeah, I thought. I agree with what you're saying. I think Sessegnon and Davies teamed up and had the greatest player in the world at the moment, and for the
their pockets,
in their pockets,
half each in each pocket.
And that's forced. Liverpool don't know how to go central, so they have to go down the diagonals. It forced them out to their left, our right. And here's my. I've always been fairly hesitant to offer too much praise for Emerson because I feel like whilst Aurier has always given away fouls, penalties, free kicks, sloppy aggressive defensive behaviour at clinical points in the last season and the season before, I thought that Emerson today didn't do it. I thought he was fantastic, and whilst he wasn't,
you thought Emerson was fantastic.
I don't think he was perfect against Sane, but listen, if you've completely ruled their favorite channel out of the game because of the superb effort of Sessegnon and Ben Davies. They don't have another option. They had to go towards Sane, right?
But that's also one of their strengths because they have Robertson and Mane down that side. So that's also like probably one of the strongest left side attacks in the world, you know?
If not
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. But if Liverpool have, the reason why Liverpool is so great is because you don't know how to throw your defense weight. You don't know how to, whether you do you man up on the left, you man up on the right, because you've got Alexander Arnold who'll just spin 40-yard passes, 50-yard passes one side or the other. To, wherever the space is, they'll go for it. But their right flank was so subdued because of our defense that all of their efforts were forced down the left. And given that,
which is where they got a goal. They got a lot of good work from. You know, they got their stuff from. Yeah, both goals came on the left side.
You're coming up against the best team or one of the best teams in world football.
Yeah.
To have subdued their right flank, they only have one other option. I thought Emerson did actually. Look, you're right. I hear what you're saying.
Stronger central right back and stronger wing back on the right. Do you think they even get those goals?
Well, who's that? Like,
I've been saying
we
don't have that.
He's saying
we don't have that
in general.
Yeah, as in, do we go into the market and get two players? You know, because what you're saying is great, and what I'm saying is like, it's clearly we need someone on the right. We were looking at like, how do we get Emerson out of there? Fucking Doherty. Like, well, that's no way of guaranteeing it's going to be the right move, you know?
Sure.
Well, I thought Emerson was really good tonight. I thought he was better than I've seen him tonight. Right? I know that was where they had their efforts in, but I actually thought he was better than I've seen him. And I've always said, Ben and Sim will always attest. I've always said that one of the most important positions that we have never replaced
right back.
Kyle Walker is the right back. Right, that's a big point I've always made. And I haven't always thought that Emerson is the answer to that question. Certainly Aurier wasn't. Certainly Doherty isn't. So,
but do you think he is? So you're not saying he is the answer. You just
Emerson,
think he did it. You just think he did an all right job, but you're not saying he is the answer.
I'm not saying he's the answer. I haven't seen enough of him to in good performances for me to ever change that view yet. But I thought tonight overall, I thought that he did a fairly solid job against a team that world class. Yeah, sorry.
Let me ask you this. I mean, changed up the formation today to 3-5-2 with a midfield three of Ndombele, Wiggs, and Dele Alli, right? Mm-hmm. In what world would you say that midfield three can be competent in Europa League, in Europa Conference League, never mind against Liverpool? I mean, what sort of sorcery are we watching at the moment? Like, where Harry Winks and Dele Alli are actually performing against a top Liverpool side.
It's like, dude, we just got a 2-2 draw with Liverpool with that midfield. That blows my fucking mind.
Though. That same midfield would have cost 100 million quid, a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, but not yesterday. Yesterday that midfield cost 5p.
Yeah, look at transfer market yesterday.
The difference between what happened in previous games and tonight was that those players were playing for either a move abroad or they were playing for their spots. Whichever
abroad, so you don't think anyone's going to think here?
Oh,
you don't think...
whatever. I mean, a
move away, yeah, move away, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
You check my word, right? So if
Ndombele... move to the MLS.
if Ndombele and Dele Alli are so, if they've been so fed up with Tottenham and they haven't given two hoots for the longest time, then their performance today was either a way for them to say to Conte, "Hey,
Sean, do you buy that though? Tell me right now, do you buy that? Do you think that was about them saying, "I'm playing this game for my position in this Spurs team"? No, yeah. So
no, it's either that or it's, "Hey, Newcastle United with 100 grand, 200 grand a week on offer, come get me." Or whatever else is going to happen in January, right? It's one of those options.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen Ndombele play as well for a long time. I haven't seen Dele Alli play as well for a far longer time. And Harry Winks, I thought, was superb as well tonight. So, like, you can only put it down.
So you're saying you're happy?
I am. I was really happy. Yeah, really happy. But like I say, it's either I want to be played or I want to be laid. Like, let me go or pick me.
That's the way I think about it every time I go to clubs. That's my exact catchphrase. I want to be played or I want to be laid.
Sean, a point gained or 2 points dropped today?
See, that's a great question, Ben. I would have taken the point before. I'm not someone that's going to reflect on, might have been. I'm happy with the point. I'm super happy with the point. But during the 90 minutes, 100%, I felt like we deserved the win. When I was saying at the start, I wasn't uncomfortable throughout the game. That's because I always felt like Tottenham.
Yeah.
Liverpool were way off par. We played them like a fiddle. We knew where to exploit them. We got the ball back. Their midfield was weak, and we picked them apart. The weakest player in the Tottenham pitch for me, as much as I love him, I thought Sonny was. It wasn't just the chance. I know he scored a good goal.
He made up for it though, right?
His touch was off today, wasn't it?
His touch was way off, and it wasn't just the chances he missed. There were other times when he got the ball that didn't become chances. Where they could have become chances had he been. So, and if Sonny's the weakest player on the pitch, then I think we've had a good night because Sonny puts in a 10 out of 10 performance, and he's a world-class player. So, is it 3 points dropped? Well, yeah, over the last 2 hours, you could argue yes, but you know what? It was one of those games, guys, where the referee decisions could have gone either way 100 times. Harry Kane could have got
Should Harry Kane been sent off?
Yeah, I think so. I agree with Grandpa.
See, this is the big. I think this is the big thing about that game. I think the ref. You're right. The ref. Some of the ref decisions were good and bad. I think the ref did give us more of the good because I think less than. I don't think Harry Kane's one was a send off because I've made that tackle loads, and it's when you're going straight in for the ball. Your intention is solely to get that ball. There's no intention in Harry Kane to hurt that player, and I think anyone can see that.
Intention doesn't seem to matter that much anymore. Like if you go in with your studs up and you're flying through a full pace slide, I've seen them given red cards time and time again. I also thought, Brain, for what it's worth, that the penalty shout that wasn't given in the first half.
That's what I was going to say. I think
had a penalty as well.
That's what I was going to say. I understand why that is not a red card because I think every refereeing decision is on discretion of the ref, and VAR can overrun it if it's a clear and obvious.
Yeah.
I don't think that VAR, watching back that VAR, is clear and obvious because of the angle and the direction of where the tackle happens. So that's for me it makes, and how quick the distance between how he misses the ball is very close, and his foot is like it's almost like it's getting brung up. Yeah. He's not going in high with the tackle, but the penalty. For me, that's a pen. That is a stone cold pen. So I agree. Yeah. So I think that we got the wrong ball.
Either way, you
need that though. You need that. And that's what football. 9 times out of 10, that goes against us. How many times are you screaming at a screen, going, "You motherfucker"? And we got a break tonight with some of that.
I think that there were. If those decisions, like the yellow card against Robertson that was referred to the VAR to the camera, the VAR. Like,
wait, you're going to tell me that you don't think Robbo's one was a red?
No, I'm not saying that. I think that the referees in full like motion, like in real time motion, I think that Harry Kane's tackle looked worse than
I'll tell you why the red's not given to Harry Kane. Early on in the game, it's emotions are not flying. Are you going to send their captain off? Where the ref's standing from where Harry Kane goes in, I don't think that's a red. All those things have to go into the ref's mind. Second half, things are getting heated. There's a lot of yellow cards. It's a lot more heightened in the game. This is a pivotal moment. The way that he kicks in, I don't know if you've ever had that tackle into your leg.
The replay
That's
looked
horrible.
awful. Yeah, the replay on Robertson's challenge looked horrendous.
He literally, his momentum kicks a guy, a human, up in the air.
I take that. And he deserved to be sent off. But in real time, that challenge didn't look, at least from the camera that I was looking at, it didn't look as aggressive or as nasty as Harry Kane's did. And if I was a Liverpool fan, if I was a Liverpool fan that was looking for reasons to feel, that there was unjust decisions, Liverpool have got more than enough reasons to suggest that the game could have gone a different way had the referee's decisions in pivotal moments gone a different.
But in the first half, do Liverpool not have 3, 4, 5 chances that we should be up? We should have gone into half time, maybe 3, 4 up.
Yeah, of course, but that's not the referee's.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, but I think from a Liverpool fan perspective, from everything I'm seeing from friends of mine who are diehard Liverpool fans, they're not sitting there going that Spurs were lucky. None of them are saying that. Yeah. They know their team weren't on form today, and they know that they were pretty lucky in that first half, because I think we should have been 3-1 up at halftime.
Yeah. I think 100% agree with that as well. We should have had the game put to bed by halftime.
All right, Sean, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend. Can't wait to have you in the studio. You're going to be here very soon, and we shall speak to you in a bit.
Nice one, Sean.
January 1st. Cheers, guys. See you soon. Well done tonight.
All right, big up, Sean. Let's keep going. We've got a lot of guests to get through today. Jesus, we've been on air for an hour. We've only seen 3 guests, so we need to keep this moving, and let's move on to Adam William Cahill. Adam,
sorry, boys.
How's it going, my friend?
Absolutely fantastic. I'm on my 4th pint of the evening in my in my Spurs pint glass. I'm very, very happy with the way things have gone tonight.
Loving it.
For
is
sure.
Is that a point gained for you or 2 points dropped?
It's a point gain, because let's be honest, every single one of us thought we were going into this going, okay, it's going to be a loss, but it's the way that we play that's going to dictate whether or not we're satisfied.
Yeah.
So the fact that we came out with a point, definitely, like, nobody can say, like, yes, when you're watching the game, we played so bloody well that we should have taken the game, because there were so many squandered shots. Kane could have put more away, Son could have put more away. So absolutely, we could have taken away the 3 points, and we probably should have. But you cannot say that when you're going into it, thinking that it's a loss, and you're just expecting to be like, okay, as long as we play well, we can still be enthusiastic. Then of course it's a point. It's absolutely a point, and it's Conte's point, because without him, we would not be in where we are right now, where we're just elated over the fact that we played so amazingly well tonight.
Exactly. So is it more the performance than the actual result for you today, why you're so happy?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, Liverpool are an exceptional team. Liverpool are the only team that will challenge Man City for number 1 this season. I don't think Chelsea will. At the beginning of the season, I got to be honest, I thought Chelsea were going to win it, but the way it's going at the moment, I think it will end up a 2-horse race. And so, considering Liverpool are one of those 2 horses, I think that for us to go against them, even at our own stadium, and considering where we were before Conte came along, and even, I mean, the moral loss shows that even, Conte, there are certain areas where Conte had to. There was he was climbing a massive mountain to get this team where they are, to the point where they played the way they played today. Yeah, I mean, it was exceptional to have seen Spurs play the way we played tonight. And when we started with Dele Alli, Winks, and Dyer, who are players who I was like, you know what? Like, the one thing that you want to take away from this thing, or that I will take away from this tonight, is that Conte is so unbelievably amazing that I don't care anymore who stays and who goes. Because I was like, I was always Winks out, get him the F out right now. Eric Dyer, get him out. And now I'm like, I don't care. They can all stay. And then because Conte can work miracles. He is that kind of manager.
Adam, they can all stay. They can all stay if Conte stays.
If Conte stays, absolutely.
That's what 100%. You want to prefix it with.
Yes. It's all predicated on that man, but that man is an absolute hero. It's his night more than anything, because if we had any of our last three managers,
dude, can you
lost.
Can you imagine if Nuno took that game
with that lineup?
Yeah,
with that lineup,
or even Mourinho with that
4-0
lineup.
loss.
Yeah, you're getting hammered. It's probably more.
Absolutely
probably
maybe 7.
Maybe at home.
No, that's exactly what I said. I was talking to my dad on the phone earlier on, and I was saying, like, if Nuno was in charge, it would be a 7-0 slaughter. So if we lose, if we lose 3-0 tonight, but we play well, that's positive. Do you know what I mean? But we came away with a point. So
Adam, isn't it so wacky that if you just take one player out of that back, Davies, go sit on the bench, right, and then you have Dyer and Sanchez, and it's just like, oh my God, it's like what, and then you're looking at, but you just bring in Ben Davies of all people, and all of a sudden you got a little bit of Cam, you got Ben Davies going up and putting a cut ball back into the box. Like, what has happened to Ben Davies? Like, what is this that we're witnessing?
But I've been saying this since the beginning of last season. I thought that when we had a 3 at the back, we played incredibly well, and then Mourinho ended up moving back to a 2 again, and I was like, what have you done that for? Because I think that we were playing with the 3, we were actually playing quite well, and I didn't think that any of the players were, I wasn't looking at any of them going, well, no, they're a liability. So we've gone back.
And that was when we weren't playing attacking football. We weren't even playing attacking football, and he would only have 2 at the back. We were playing kind of boring Mourinho ball, you know?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Mourinho just had a 3 at the back?
That's not what we're playing now. It's amazing how many people were saying that Conte would come in and we'd be getting Mourinho 2.0, and it's like, no. We absolutely took the game to Liverpool tonight, and I genuinely think that we absolutely, if any team deserved to push it over the line, it was us. You know, there's no way that Liverpool were coming away with the W tonight. No way. And we were just very unfortunate that, and I hate saying this because I'm Sonny's biggest fan. Honest, I will argue against anybody. I'm Sonny's biggest fan, but he did not have an incredible game tonight. He did not have his scoring shoes on. But imagine the way things would have gone if he had have put one of those misses away tonight, and like it would have just completely changed the way things were. But the thing is, though, considering the way it ended up as well, the fact that it was 2-2 when we had 15 minutes left, and then you clearly saw clock like, no, shut up shop. We're done. There's no way. We're just going to throw those defenders on now and just keep this score. The fact that we did that to Liverpool, when do you ever see anyone
how proud does that make you, Adam? How proud does that make you that we actually forced Liverpool into doing that?
Yeah, exceedingly proud, because the fact that they decided to shut up shop because they knew they were going nowhere. How many times do you see Liverpool do that in a season? Next to never.
Take off a striker and bring on a defender.
But when's the last time anyone has beaten Liverpool in XG? When's the last time anyone has beaten Liverpool in XG?
I was looking at that. As soon as I came on the screen, you pointed it out. I was like,
crazy.
wow.
That's nuts, is it? It's nuts to me to think that. My mind was blown when I saw that. Like, we have beaten Liverpool on XG. I mean, they have like 4 or 5 XG every game or whatever stupid it is.
Isn't that like, what I mean? Adam, do you think that's the most impressive thing? Is it the first half we have 25 minutes of like, wow, 3 chances, Harry Kane scores, this is pure gold, and then we shit the bed for a bit, right? We go on a little bit of a rough patch. And then Conte gets them in. It's like we so need half times. We love half times now because Conte gets them in and they don't shit the bed. They go 1 down and they still don't shit the bed. They get stronger. For me, that is what you see from a Conte team. Balls, like fucking, like the belief's there. Even if you go down, it's still there. You still got a chance. Like that is what you love.
Trying to identify what the Conte effect is. It's not just that like there's one specific thing that he's great at. He oozes this aura that affects every single area of our game. There's not a single aspect of our game that hasn't improved since he's come in. And the fact that you're right. I mean, we were absolutely killing it for the first 25 minutes. There was there are ebbs and flows in games, and unfortunately after that, the tide was kind of against us. But then immediately, we know the halftime talk with himself is going to be so revitalizing. We come out and it's like it's fresh all over again. Do you know what I mean? And it's like that's how many managers can do that? There's very few managers that can actually pull that off. Never mind for him to be able to, because every single aspect of the game just completely and utterly changed. We had Dele Alli, Nombelli, Winks, We had Davis, Dyer. Like that's not a team that on paper should be doing what we did to Liverpool tonight. It's just not. On paper, those players should not have been able to do that. So
do you think it's a bit of like an injection effect of like, you know, when you're pushing in an injection, you're taking the negative air out. So for what I mean by that, from a managerial point of view, is that essentially, while he's like at halftime, he's like. He's taking your negative out of you and he's giving you positivity, but you also don't want to lose for him. You know, if someone grabs you at half time, I feel like that's what Mourinho kind of lost from the later part of his career, because the early career he was galvanizing players and being like, this is it, you die for this moment. But like, I feel like this is what Conte was as a player. And I think that's just who he is. Yeah. It's not fake. Yeah. It's what he is. And he gives that to players. He's like, die for me here. For a whole half. Don't slow down. Don't, like, if your legs are burning, look over, tell me. And then, and so I love that like, he doesn't make unneeded changes. He makes the right changes. Because I would have said, okay, take Dele off now, or you know, like, just because that's your own kind of prejudice.
How many times did we question Jose and Nuno's in-game management and decisions? Yeah. Have you ever questioned any of Conte's in-game management or decisions ever?
No, not at all.
Since he's come?
No.
I wouldn't question a thing. I wouldn't question a thing.
You can't question him. You just can't question him. You can't.
No, you can't. If Conte rang me and said, Adam, in order for us to win the next game, I'm going to have to send you to the deepest, darkest point in the Amazon. And I'm like, all right, cool. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm buying your tickets right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's absolutely nothing that you could say that man could say that you'd be like, yeah, okay, I trust you. I have to trust you. And what you were saying there is absolutely true. Like, when Mourinho had that at one stage, because John Terry in many an interview has said, I would absolutely die for that man. There's nothing that our squad wouldn't have done to make sure that we went above and beyond absolutely anything that we thought was humanly possible to win for him. But that is not the way that Spurs played for him when he came with us and various other teams. You know,
because that time he's like he's a famous guy by the time he comes, and he's all about the kind of that. He's not really.
He was a parody of himself by the time he came to Spurs. He wasn't the manager though.
Conte was a bomb when he played. He carried his team. He was like the soul,
heart on his sleeve. You know what I mean?
And he's always been that. Every place he's ever gone to, he's always been that. And I can see him going into this team and everyone going, "But this team's shit." Even us as fans going, "But this team's shit." And he's like, "No. This is football. We'll see who's shit." And that's why it's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like, you know, Brian and even Sean and stuff were saying, like, do we really need that much changes? And I'm not saying that you know, I'm not saying that the players who we probably are looking at selling because we can get some value for them, I'm not saying that we change our minds on that, but does it make you feel a little bit better looking at the squad now, considering that in the right formations they actually can play good football? Does that change your mind about January?
It's crazy to be in the position where, like, I was constantly saying to everybody, January is the key. January is going to be the thing where we know
I wanted all our games off until January.
Yeah. I was saying the same thing to my dad. I was like, if we end up not playing any games until January, that's fine, because we'll have a lot of new players in. But the crazy thing is, Conte's actually made me believe that we could do some incredible. We could get to fourth without a transfer window. I genuinely feel like that at this stage with him. It's madness. But like, with the fact that we have the transfer window available to us now in only a matter of weeks, and the players that he's looking to bring in, whether it's Vidal, Kezier, whoever, they're going to be absolutely, you know, they're going to revitalize the team. But the fact that he's made us believe that it doesn't matter who is available to us for the next game, he'll make it work. That's, you know, and I think part of it comes down to what you were saying a second ago, like he has that mentor, father figure thing about him. And I think that's also, that's the reason why Liverpool are kind of in the race with Man City at the moment, because I think that, I can't remember who it was that said, I heard someone say recently that, like, Man City have the best team, whereas Liverpool have the best individual players. But the reason that the individual players are making up for maybe the fact that they're not quite as cohesive as a Man City, who don't even need a striker and they can win games, is because Klopp is a mentor. He's not just a manager. He is the daddy of Liverpool right now. You know, so he's able to make them perform in that way. And we have the absolute daddy of all daddies now managing.
Daddy Conte at the wheel, people. Daddy Conte at the wheel. We got a super chat here for you, Adam, and it's from Cody Mack, and he's used his free 10-month super chat just to tell you, Adam, switch to your good microphone, please. That's what he says.
Switch to my good microphone. Is it not on? It is on. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me see. Yes.
Is that better?
That is better. That's much better.
Wait, Cody wasted his 10-month super chat on that.
Yeah.
On some sound tech advice.
Yeah. Big up Cody Mack, everyone.
We just drew 2-2 with Liverpool. Cody. Jesus.
Cody, if I ever see you face to face, I'll buy you a pint, mate.
And Adam, last question from me. Do you think Daniel Levy looks at this performance now and thinks, maybe we don't have to spend so much in January?
Yeah.
I hope that Daniel Levy is looking at this match and thinking the same thing that we're all thinking, which is in Conte we trust. So if Conte decides that he wants 50 million, give him 50 million. If Conte decides he wants 150 million, give him 150 million. Just trust.
If he wants your daughter, give him your daughter. Whatever he wants, give him it. Give him it.
No matter what it is, no matter what he wants, just give it to him, because this guy is absolute gold. And you know, between himself and Paratici, you know, the mafia that we've got now in charge of the transfer windows, like this is, you can't help but think this is an absolute revolution. There is a new dawn. There is a sunrise, not a sunset, waiting for us over the cusp of December. It's absolutely, it gives us it's got to give you a spring in your step every morning waking up being a Spurs fan today compared to a few months ago.
All right, Adam, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend, and I'm sure we'll speak very, very soon. So big up yourself and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
I love it. His calls are always amazing.
Always great.
I always have
a
like a
great
list of things, and sometimes when I come on after Adam, I'm like, fucking hell, he's taking like everything I wanted to say.
Back to the drawing board. We got a super chat here from Jack Konecki, a member for 12 months, people. Jack Konecki, big up, and he says, what a performance by the lads. Seeing Winks, Dele, Davis, etc. playing well shows Conte can turn water into wine. Thanks for your hard work, boys. And, you know, he's calling Davies water turning into wine. I'm sure the next caller will have something very different to say about that. And that is Mr. Arianne, Mr. Ben Davies FC. I mean,
yes, sir.
Out of everyone, Arianne, you have to be the guy that is most on top of the world with what is going on with Ben Davies right now.
Man, for the first time in 16 Premier League games in the hands of Benjamin Thomas Davies, Mo Salah went again without a goal or assist.
I love that.
Without a goal or assist, okay? And I'm taking credit for that. I captained him on my FPL team, guys. I'm out of the match. I get jinxed Mo Salah. All right. So
absolutely unreal, man.
Conte has turned him into what a monster, man. Even I don't know how this has happened. I've been for 2 years. This guy has been my profile picture on Twitter, and I have gone flamed for it, left, right, and center. and now someone can't roast me for it, and it's the greatest feeling ever. You guys have absolutely no idea.
Arianne,
absolutely no idea.
For reals though, in the past though, what was it that you saw in Ben Davies? Because it was, you have to admit, it was hard. It was hard for a while.
It was.
He was out of position. He wasn't really.
Man.
Yeah. What did you see in him? How did you believe like there's a player here? Like,
do you guys want to know the honest answer? I don't think I've told anybody this.
Yes, please.
I wear the same number. I wear the same number. That's all there is to it.
What,
I wear the same number.
33?
I wear 33, yeah. I don't know what my jersey is right now, but I wear 33. That's all there has been to it for so many years. And I've developed this love for him over a period of time. And then I have to defend him. Like, it's just my duty.
Do you play in the same position?
Tonight.
Do you play in the same position?
I don't play in the same position.
I was thinking that you understood what he was going through being a left back who's out of position.
No.
Well, look,
Arianne,
it's a shame.
Right back.
It's a shame they didn't give you the number 8 shirt because Harry Winks today. I mean, what happened to him today?
He was unreal. I don't even know, man. He was giving these passes over the top. Like,
yeah,
it was. Do you guys remember how shit he was against Everton in the FA Cup? last year.
Yeah.
That was the performance for me that I remember. We went 4-4. He came on. We scored 4, and somehow he goes on, and we can't even get a sniff at their goal. Like, it was unbelievable how horrible he was. That performance to me was like the key of this is where he fell. And now he was great. He was probably our man of the match, I would give it.
Yeah.
Like, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he gave so many passes over the top to Sonny, who I love the guy. Okay, and I defended him a lot. I do think some of his misses, people are like the one that Harry gave to him on, it was in the air. It's still difficult. Yeah, should he put it on target? Probably, but he's human. And he's our top scorer. I'm not going to hold it against him. It's against Liverpool. We have this curse against Liverpool, where we just cannot seem to score easy chances. Yeah. So, look, it is what it is, and it happens. And then, he made up for it with a brilliant pass to Daigle, who, again, probably should have scored. And I was defending him for that too, because people are saying, you guys said it, he should have hit on the left side. But yeah, he was one-on-one with the keeper. But let's be realistic. It's Liverpool. How much time does he really have to pick his spot? While the ball, he can't take a touch and pick his spot. He has to hit it first time.
It should be instinct, though. It should be instinct.
It should be instinct.
It's
but
instinct
look,
for a player who's playing all the time, and
exactly.
And he's got so much on the world on him. He's got the world on his shoulders. Like, I'm Dele Alli.
Right.
Like, I need this to go in so badly.
Yeah.
You
think trying too hard.
Yeah, he's trying too hard.
It's not the easiest chance in the world. And, you asked what position I play. I play a striker, and I've missed sitters before, and I know how it feels, and I know the pressure he's feeling. It's terrible. I honestly would rather I'd rather be sprinting at the goal with a defender on me than have an easy chance. I would, because an easy chance is almost harder to mess up with how much pressure is on you. You're
Wait a second, Arianne. What sort of striker wears number 33?
I don't know, man.
Someone who's not in the team.
I kind of got given it. The story on how I got the number is like I was a freshman in high school. I just got this number because I don't get a pick. I'm a freshman in high school, and then ever since then I've kind of just worn it. Like, even when I had a choice, I picked 33. It is what it is. So
get it.
Yeah. So that's on the number. But man, the game was great. I'm happy with the game, man.
Is it more the performance today or the result that's really made you that happy?
Both, because look, this is every performance-wise, as in like a broad statement, we outplay Liverpool and we miss 57 chances and we don't take the win. That's happened how many games in a row now?
Yeah.
So the fact that we got the draw this time breaks the pattern, and finally we can actually have some confidence going into the game. 7 games we've gone without a win, with all losses actually. Last time we beat Liverpool was the 4-1, or didn't lose against Liverpool. That's the last time. So to get the draw is a positive, and to have a performance against Liverpool where they were lucky, they scraped the draw. That's more positive, because they're the most informed team probably in the Premier League, probably in the world right now, and they escaped to the point against the mighty Tottenham Hotspur, the trophyless Spurs. Everyone says that, but they escaped with a point. They barely got out, and that's massive.
You have like the kind of master tactician and the kind of the daddy of all daddies. Of
course.
You have a great kind of Conte on our side against Klopp. And this has to be the first time you've seen Klopp in the last 20 minutes of a game taking off. I mean, sure, they've got a red, so they have to kind of manage things. But surely he has the confidence in his team to push, to keep going forward and try and get the little.
Hey man, it's not every day you get to possibly take a point from Daddy Conte. He's got to hold it. He's got to hold it.
But we look to be threatening more than them, and so it's like we forced the hand of Klopp to go. No, let's put a defender on. Let's protect here. That's huge for us, I think.
Arianne, does this performance send a message to the rest of the Premier League in terms of the top 4 race?
Of course it does. If we win our games in hand, we're 3 points clear at top 4. If we win our games in hand, and who do we have? We have Burnley, we have Brighton, and Leicester's going to be maybe a tough game depending on whenever we get them and who they have back in and not in the side. But of course it sends a message. Everyone thought we were down and out of the Premier League race, after our 3 losses under Nuno, and now we've come in under Conte. We've got our best center back out until maybe March. And let's not forget, we are 13 days from a transfer window with Don Paratici at the helm. Okay,
Come on.
Let's not forget.
What is it? 5 games unbeaten? 4 or 5 games unbeaten?
Yes, Conte's been here for 4 Premier League games, right? Or is that the 5th?
We're Leeds, Everton, Norwich,
Brentford,
Liverpool,
and
Brentford. That's 5.
Yeah, 5.
That's 5 games unbeaten.
That's a 5-game unbeaten run.
Yep.
We're taking this.
Of course we're taking it. And who do we have next? West Ham on Thursday, right? So
West Ham on Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday? Okay,
Wednesday,
well, regardless,
I think it is, yeah.
That's a big one.
You know,
It's a big one.
half their back line is out. I don't know if they're still going to be out by the time we have, our game. But, if we can finish a little bit better and keep the same energy, then if we can beat Liverpool, what the hell? Who's West
And
Ham?
not only that, this was a COVID-ravaged Tottenham. This was a COVID-ravaged Tottenham that hardly of them have even trained over the last week.
Exactly. Like, people are going to say,
Arianne,
oh,
were you not?
was that what?
Arianne, were you not coming into this game going? What's
I was
going
shitting
to
my
happen
pants.
here?
The second, 2 minutes in, and they had 2 chances, a shot on target. I was about to I don't even know. I was about to have a heart attack. The fact that we scored first, it was unreal. I told my dad we're losing. I was like, no, we're losing. I just want to see how much we can stretch it. I said this is going to be exactly like it's going to go. We're going to get a goal after getting battered, which was exactly it. We were getting battered. We got to go off a counterattack. They equalized, and they went 2-1 up. I said, this is exactly the script, but we broke it. We broke it. We equalized. Allison, that guy, he was a brick wall today, some of his saves, but he made the mistake. It was overdue. Okay, and finally we were able to get back on level, and we should have won that game. And I said, finally we were able to break the script. I'm so happy. The day prior, I was like, I'm gonna wake up at 7 in the morning, and I know for a fact that I was convinced we were losing. I was convinced. I was like, this is gonna happen. If I had to bet money, I would say 2-1 Liverpool. But I'm so freaking happy. That's why I said it's not 2 points lost. It is definitely 100,000% a point gained. I was looking at the Premier League table with 4 games in hand, and I was saying, what if we have 9 points out of these games? Not 12. I was saying, what if we get 9? Okay, because I was like, okay, there's a Liverpool game. It's a write-off. No.
It was a free hit today. It was a free hit today, Arianne. It was a complete free hit today.
Exactly. COVID written, first game back against Liverpool. We're not even match fit, and we get a point. It's unreal.
Even the teams who have got points against Liverpool, they've not come out of the game with 65% possession over them.
We beat them on XG. Who beats Liverpool on XG?
All the teams that have gotten a positive result against Liverpool, bar Man City, have scraped it. They have scraped it.
Yeah.
This time Liverpool scraped it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Liverpool came out thanking God that they got a point. Except Jurgen Klopp, he's crying about a lot of referee decisions, but I don't care. He can do whatever he wants. He has a habit of doing that every time he loses. But wasn't he the guy that blamed the rain? Sorry, he blamed the rain a couple seasons ago or something. So, it's what it is. I don't.
Well, he was saying he was saying it's ridiculous that we get put in these positions, having to play with you're talking about playing a Spurs team who had 13 players out with COVID. Wait, what's wrong with you?
Who did they have out? They had Thiago out, Van Dijk out, and seriously, what else do they have? We have Romero out on injury. I'm not on COVID, but on injury.
Yeah.
Our starting 2 midfielders and Højbjerg and Skip both out. Lucas Moura out. Regulon out.
Yeah, Son coming back. About?
Yeah, Son just came back. He tested
players
positive
just coming back
2 days ago. It's I don't know what he's complaining about. It's so weird. So again, it's Klopp. He's a great guy, great manager, but he loves to cry when he loses. It's unbelievable. So,
and how amazing is that to kind of see him in an interview after the game, kind of looking like he lost. Looking like he lost the game.
Oh, it was lovely.
By the way, brother,
amazing.
it was 2-2. You didn't lose, but for him, he was he's crying like he lost the game, and that
felt like a loss.
That feels
he
good.
knows. He knows we're dangerous.
Yeah, it felt like a win for us.
Oh, of course it did. Of course it did. Against Liverpool, Spurs, Liverpool, that always ended in Liverpool. I thought 7 games in a row in all competitions we had lost to them, and we finally didn't.
So here's the hard questions, though. With the performances that you saw, 2 players, Winks and Daigle, do you in January, do you think keep them both because of what they've shown, or do you say, look, that's probably good for them to get little transfers away now?
I think Winks can stay.
Winks can stay.
Because the thing is, this isn't Winks' first performance under Conte that was good. Yeah, we've had like 6 games under Conte. I'm thinking of that cameo against Vitesse still.
Second half against Leeds, he was really good as well.
Second half against Leeds, he's been good. And I'm gonna say jury's out on Dele because this is the first game we've seen under Conte. I don't know. Okay, I don't have enough on Dele, but I think Winks has shown enough where at worst case scenario, he is absolutely not a bad player to keep in the reserves in the worst case. Okay, and I think there's value in that.
But do you think we probably want to get a midfielder in? So if it is that case that we probably want to get a midfielder in, or do we need to get a midfielder in now?
You've got to remember the homegrown quota as well. So if we sell Winks, we'd have to,
very true.
Right? We'd have to replace him with what? Maybe
James
Ward-Prowse player, or then get Ward-Prowse. And is it worth, even if he is an upgrade, which I'm not even sure he is with the age and everything.
Come on.
Ward-Prowse is an upgrade for his free kicks, because we don't have a free
we do need a set piece specialist to be fair. But even then, he's how old is he? Like 29.
Free kick specialist. Don't we have Harvey White coming through?
Of course, man. We got Harry Kane, man.
I tell you what, for the amount of free kicks we win, if we just had a specialist, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, we had Bale in, and what did he do?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Fair enough.
Right? So
he hit the bar once, I think.
Yeah, and we've had Dyer, who's surprisingly all right at free kicks, and he's done all right, I guess.
He's better than Harry Kane, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he's better than. I mean, look, Kane is still living off of that one free kick against Aston Villa. That was shit. Anyway, I don't understand
that hit
how
the wall and went in.
It was the biggest deflection I've ever seen. I don't even know how that wasn't given as an own goal, but so I don't know how he's still living off of that, but.
But do you think we have a strong team now, or from this? You can get a 2-2 with Liverpool on the form they're in. Do you think we have a strong team now going forward, or do you think we need more? We need more to compete to get this top 4. And we're talking about Arsenal and Man U, right? This is what the battle's going to be against.
We're not talking about Arsenal. We're talking about we're talking about the other team. We're talking about the teams that have a chance at top 4. So, do we have a strong team? Yes. Do we need reinforcement? I mean, both can be true, of course. So, we have a little bit of a problem, I would say, in the defense. I think we still need to get someone, not because the defense is bad necessarily, and with Romero out, even the fact that we have room to upgrade is unreal. But out of these 3, Sanchez, Dyer, and Davis, God forbid they can't play a couple of games.
Yeah.
We're done. Especially
God
Davis,
forbid you have to give.
Side.
God forbid you have to give Joe Rodon a game.
But Arianne, look, let's be honest. We all said the same about Dele Alli. We said the same about Harry Winks. We've said the same about many a player. So why can't Conte get these other players to step up?
What do you mean?
We've said the same about Harry Winks, right? That, he's flogging a dead horse. He's come in today and played very well. We've said the same about Dele Alli. We're flogging a dead horse. He's come in today and played very well. So why can't Tanganga step up? Why can't a Joe Rodon step up under Conte?
Yeah.
I don't know about Joe Rodon, but Tanganga's had 3 games under Conte, and he's been all right. Maybe he can cover against a Norwich, even let's give him a little bit more credit, someone like a Crystal Palace. But would you trust Tanganga in Emerson's position today against Liverpool?
No. That's the thing. You don't want a 60 million player as a backup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you trust Doherty in against Liverpool today?
No.
Right. If one of them gets hurt, God forbid, we're done. We're going to be in serious trouble. So we need some reinforcement on the back. Midfield, do we have enough bodies? Yes. Do we have enough reinforcement? Skill-wise, probably not. Today we actually had a lot of good incisive passes probably from Harry Winks, but we don't have that every game. It's been an ongoing problem. We need someone who can break the lines more consistently. Hopefully we can get one of those in. Striker, back up to Harry Kane. We've been saying it for 5 years now.
Of course.
We need somebody who can come in for Kane. So we need reinforcements, particularly for competition. Competition is key in the squad, and we don't have enough of that just yet. So hopefully Don Paratici can hook us up in the January window, okay? And we are going to be serious, and we're going to be able to brush off, because who's in the top 4 race right now? We've got us, Liverpool, United, City, Chelsea. Have I said Chelsea?
Chelsea,
yeah.
yeah, so that's 5, right? And, you know, West Ham were on good form. I don't know if they're going to be able to carry it on with a lot of the injuries they have. So that's like, what, 6.5 teams if you want to count Arsenal and the fact that they can beat relegation teams, right? You know, Martinelli has scored in like 2 games against Leeds and fucking Watford or whatever. I don't even know. It's like
West Ham, wasn't it?
West Ham with half their back line in the hospital. So
yeah,
like, oh man.
Yeah.
Look, I completely agree with you. I call it Arsenal propaganda, and don't anyone ever buy into the Arsenal propaganda because it always falls back on its face. Always.
Never. They're going to be lucky to finish Conference League.
So you think?
Saying it right now.
Classic. But you think it's not a case of like bringing in quality to make our first team like, you know, title challenging worthy for next season, or you think get through this season by bringing in some reinforcements for positions that we already have that we need a little bit touch up, or we need to protect in case we have injuries?
That's the priority right now. Look, I'm not going to say no to a starter. I don't think anyone is, but I think the priority right now is because realistically, it's this team can probably, if hopefully we can carry on with some reinforcement, get top 4. I would rather spend, 30 million on 3 or 4 players, like, you know, each to, you know, be able to come and rotate in, maybe even start a few games and then be covering provide competition than I would spending 80 million for one position right now. That's
not even for like a striker, like a world-class striker.
We have a world-class striker.
But if you can get a Vlahovic for 70 million or something like that, or a striker like that who can really do the job, do you think
that would probably, the thing is, because striker is probably our number 1 position that we really need cover for.
Yeah.
Sure, right? And, you know, provides competition. So it does that. And the thing is, if you want to provide competition to Harry Kane, you need someone who can score 20 goals a season. You don't need Carlos Vinicius, right? So,
I mean, he's balling out on PSV, mate. Absolutely balling out in the Eredivisie.
Okay, so was Bergwijn. So, you know, so I'm not talking about the Eredivisie.
Mate, don't sleep on Stevie B, my friend. The Conte effect is coming.
I'm not, you know, I haven't seen it yet. If I see it, I'll shut up, but I haven't seen it yet. So, you know, he had that one moment under Nuno against Wolves. That was nice, you know, on the touchline. But other than that, so
Arianne,
I'm happy.
Thanks for coming on, my friend. Hopefully Ben Davis keeps going from strength to strength. And
best
look,
center back in the world right now, man.
we'll see you very soon. Always a pleasure to speak to you, man.
All right, guys. And before I go, come on, you Spurs!
Come on! Love that. Come on. That's Arianne, everyone. Absolute pleasure speaking to him as always. Got a few super chats to get through before we get on to our next guest. First of all, from Sammy Plea saying, shout out to Eric Dyer. His passing was amazing today. Gets a lot of stick, but he was top class today. And you know what? I'm going to further that. I'm going to further that because not only was he top class today, but he's been top class all season.
Yeah. I mean, I hated the man with a passion last. I almost contributed us not getting top 4 solely down to that one man. And now this season, it's like he's actually genuinely a great defender. Maybe it just takes, because he moved from a different position, it takes time to become a good defender.
Yeah.
You know?
Another super chat here from the Americanka once again. Thank you very much. And she says, do you think the COVID break helped our situation pain points as a club more than hurt it? Basically what she's saying is, did COVID help us more or did it hurt us more?
That's a very good question, because I've been thinking about that a lot. You know, my perspective on it was, you know, if we can get a bit of break. It's difficult because it's not really a break because they're not really playing and trialing out things in the pitch. But still, it's a bit of time that he can get with his players to get his mentality, his message across, to watch stuff together if they're in bubbles or whatever, or he can send each individual player footage, say, watch this, like, understand this is the move, you know. So there is a value to us not playing those games, getting a bit of energy in the legs. Look, Harry Kane's looked like a different human today. And he's, you know, that just a little bit of time. Even if you're training yourself as a striker, you can put the holes in the things in the net and you can do drills and you can just aim to hit parts. So you can do a lot of good work. And so I think it's a major benefit. You know, still though, as in game fitness, that wasn't there today, so we had to work around it.
Let me ask you this, because a lot of people, I mean, majority everyone is saying about the Conference League, right? About how we don't have strength in depth, how the second string can't put two strings of passes together, can't put performance together. Mura proved that. Every away game in the Conference League has proved that. But do you think today's performance from the fringe players has changed anyone's mind on that?
You know what? The way I always look at the Conference League, it's a mentality thing. You're playing one of the best teams in the world. You're fighting for your position. You're in a good place in the league. Do not mess this up, because we could get top four if you kind of don't lose points today. If you put a fork down, you go, this is us. This is where we fight. You know, what's really on those games? You know, to go in. If I say to you, B team, Ben, you're playing in the B team today. You know, you're already hurt from the fact that you're playing. Yeah. And it's a weird mentality.
Especially when they leave 11 players at home, like under Nuno.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, maybe it's a mentality thing. Maybe it's not that. Who said it? Was it Winks that said, look, there's an A and B team?
Yeah.
And it's not cool.
Yeah.
And hey,
I think even Davis mentioned something like that.
No
as
one
well.
wants to feel that. You want to be a squad, and you want to be able to all go together, and like, this is just the team that plays, and like, this is the team that's on the bench. You know, you want to work together. Instead of like, oh God, we're playing a shit team in Europe. If you know, all these things that come in your head. If we fuck this up, this could be it. My career's on the line here. That's troubling way to go into games, I think.
I agree. Another super chat here from Arianne saying, by the way, on Kane's red, we all really got to love that England captain tax. The fact that it makes everyone makes me much happier. So come on, you Spurs.
Kind of said that.
Do you think that was the England captain tax out?
Start of the game, do you send Harry Kane off? You know what I mean? Like, nicest guy in football. Do you not just consider, it's Harry, he was going for the ball. You know what I mean?
All right, let's keep going, and let's go to our next guest, who is Burke. Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm super. I'm really happy right now. How are you guys?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, basking in the glory of a 2-2 draw with Liverpool. But it was the performance for me that really did it. I mean, what made you most happy today?
First of all, I was really surprised about how we played today. I mean, in terms of the intensity and in terms of the will to play, you know what I mean? If you said like, if we're gonna lose 2-1, I would be like, yeah, that's fine. You know, we have seen because we have seen what they did to Manchester United. You know what I mean? Like, they absolutely smashed Manchester United.
Yeah.
And
not just them, but everyone they play pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. I have been watching Liverpool probably their every game, and they're not like, they don't make jokes, you know. They're like solid team. They go, they score, they beat, they destroy you, and they're gone. That's how they play. Like, and and I'm super happy about the tactics that Conte has shown. Like, I'm really astonished, because we knew that they're gonna like line up their defense on really high. So Conte actually saw that, and he planned that accordingly. And yeah, that's perfect.
What do you think it was about the tactics? Was it the 5-3-2? Was it the idea of like, then we have two players whose job is just to basically break the lines, and it's an easy like out with diagonal runs? Or was it like the way the lower mid block were?
I think we played 5-3-2 because we have to show some defensive strength, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, Liverpool usually uses the flanks, so we have to cover those flanks, and we cannot cover that flanks with Lucas and Son. You know, 5-2-3 formation. We cannot cover those flanks, but instead he used Sonny and Kane as a striker, and used Ndombele and Dele as the cover for the flank. You know, look at Dele, look at Ndombele. They always moved with Robo and the Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know, they were like shadowing them. So instead of using Lucas, he increased the intensity of the midfield. You know.
Yeah, he's matched up in a triangular.
Yeah, he matched up.
Yeah,
exactly.
In a triangular press, you need 3 players to break the numbers, and so he's done that, and that's what you can do with a 5-3.
Exactly, and when we have the ball, when we get the ball, he wanted to use those our players' quality. Dele, he can make the pass, and Ndombele, he can dribble and make the pass as well. And Harry Winks, what a performance! I was one of the cheerleader of anti-Harry Winks team, and I was surprised, definitely. I wasn't expecting something this. I looked at the lineup and I'm like, how Harry Winks is playing, he's gonna be smashed. And it was and it was totally different. I wasn't expecting that. He was perfect, especially because when we get the ball, when we tackle the ball, Harry Winks played perfectly. He distributed the ball well. He was like a deep lying midfielder. He got the ball, he switched from one flank to the other, and he forced Liverpool to move defensively. From right to left, left to right, and that created space for Sessegnon and Emerson Royal.
And he went forward a lot as well. He put balls directly through the channels. He went forward, right through the centres.
Spot on. Spot on.
Spot on.
I mean, if Sonny had better touch today, surely we would be winning by 2-3 goals today.
Yeah, but this is football. These things happen. In order to score, you have to be there. You know what I mean? And that is the most important thing. Next day, Dele is going to score that goal. Next day, Sonny is going to have a better first touch and he's going to score. But, I love what I have seen. And also, shout out, I think it's a, absolute great idea to play with Sessegnon against Salah. Because if you give Salah a 5 meter, 10 meter, he will run and you cannot outrun him, when because he has the pace. When he's at his top speed, you cannot catch him. So to play with Sessegnon rather than Reguilon, actually it was a great move in terms of defensively as well, because he can block the Salah, and defensively he was perfect, and as a team we were perfect. We closed the half spaces. We didn't give any space to the Mane and Salah, and actually we were really great defensively. And you can see at some point Klopp went to 4-2-4 because they couldn't get any spaces.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that the magical thing? When you use 3-5, is that Sessegnon was really good in an attacking way, but he is the person who's kind of thinking about Salah, but then Ben Davies moves across. So if he is overcommitted, Ben's in there and he can take him. Yeah. But then he almost always got back in time to double up on Salah, and that's how you stop someone like that. Exactly. You give them no way out.
Spot on. Almost like we were tripling up on him at times. You know what I mean? We were tripling him up. But is there not a part of you today, Cam Burke, that thinks that we really should have won today?
Yeah, definitely. I was jumping the first half. How can we have missed a lot. From corners. I think Kane's header went over the bar.
Yeah.
And there were so many chances that we had.
Son's chance. How many times did you see Kane through and it's a little ball and it's Son? Or the other, and Son's one was millimeters. It got the wrong side of his foot. It's but that's amazing to be in that position.
Exactly. I think nobody was expecting this. I wasn't at least expecting this. So I'm super happy, and also I love the commitment of the players. When I was here on the show last time, I talked about Ben asked me, what do you want to see from Conte? And I said intensity and commitment from the players. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to see, and I saw that this match. So I'm super pleased.
But now the bar has been raised this high by performance. Surely we need to keep growing on this now, keep getting better and better. And is top 4 genuinely on now?
Yeah, definitely. We have to get better. I mean, this is the bar, like you said. We have to get better, and we should not allow to drop that intensity, because if we drop that intensity, we're gonna make mistakes. And if we, for example, copy the way we play today, and let's say we play against Brighton or Chelsea, it doesn't matter. Someone is not Liverpool. We're gonna win that match, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If we copy that mentality, because like this is one of the best way to play against Liverpool. I mean, they're physically the strongest team in the Europe probably, and they run, they make passes, you know, they play fast, and this is how you answer. And if we can answer to Liverpool like this means we can answer, we can have an answer to every team in the Premier League.
Do you think going forward, mentality-wise, that's the true benefit of Conte? Not just play the right formations and have, you know, you can put formations out there, but players, they don't believe in you, they won't do it. Going forward, seeing that formation works and having a manager who picks the right formation, but also one who believes in you, is the mentality moving forward the thing that really is important? Because you can play the next game, and if you don't, you know, if you maybe you pick a different lineup, and the mentality isn't there.
Look, let me tell you this. You know, we have seen top managers here in Tottenham after Pochettino. I mean, one top manager. We have seen Mourinho, you know.
Ryan
we haven't
Mason,
seen
yeah?
such intensity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there has been Nuno, and this means that the manager, the role of the manager is really important, and it's affecting the character of the squad. And this is really hard to change, you know. And I'm absolutely loving it.
All right, Cam Burke, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend. We'll see you next time. But big up yourself. We'll see you soon, my friend.
Goodbye.
See you.
Cheers.
Great call there from Cam Burke once again. Let's move on to the Jory call. Jory!
Hey guys.
How's it going, Jory?
It's going great, Ben. How about you?
All smiles today, I can see. All smiles today.
Yes,
I mean, what really put that smile on your face today? Was it getting a point off Liverpool, or was it the actual performance you saw on the pitch today?
Or you're being blown by someone off camera? It's one of the three.
Well, actually, it's the fourth. It's the fact that Brains is in the studio today. Right?
Come on. Don't let Sim hear you say that, though.
Oh, well, I miss Sim, though. Let's just say that. No, I would say what's got me smiling is that kind of like I called in, I think, yesterday or something, and I was saying, like, I'm trying to put my head into contest space always, which is not really normal football logic as such, you know. And I felt like what I did predict the 2-0 win, but basically the performance we got today was what I thought, like, this is something I shouldn't expect, but for some reason I think actually Conte will deliver something like this, and that's what we got. And like, so I'm like, it continues my kind of my the way I see Conte is he's continuing to absolutely bring our players that were basically destined for the trash bin, to be honest. They're just coming up to levels that we haven't seen in many years, and for some of them, never seen, you know. So actually, Jonas, he put it really well. He said, like, what's with this Conte? How come all our bad players are playing really good and our good players are not playing good? He was then so frustrated with Kane not scoring and Son not scoring in the game, you know. But he has a point there, Jonas. So. But they were playing good as well. Of course, Sonny's touch is often a little bit heavy, especially in the in the kind of fast build-up stuff. You know, something he's got to work on. I'm sure Conte will help him with that. And when Sonny's really on, that touch becomes perfect. You know, so I also think like maybe sorry.
I was going to say, like, you know how you said on your first point is that before the game, I also felt like some weird thing where it's like, I actually feel I was speaking to David Harris about it, be like, I actually feel genuinely, weirdly upbeat about this game. And then I saw the lineup and thought, holy shit, and crapped myself the entire way here. You know? So when you saw the lineup,
well, that's
what did you think?
Well, actually, I was in a meeting when that came out. So I was kind of like, I just heard it right before I came in, and the game had started, was 3 minutes in or something. I heard you guys. Actually, I was listening to you in the car on the way back, and I heard you guys lamenting the lineup, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? This is going to be a slaughter now, you know? And then I came in and started seeing it, and I was worried the first couple of minutes. But then, you know, just to see, I mean, since Conte's come in, like right from the start, we've seen our team be much more disciplined, and especially like the holding the shape has gone better. But this game, we held the shape perfectly. Like there wasn't one moment where I can point to where we weren't lined up like we were supposed to be, and it was like down to the second when they switched players, like when the one moved up and stuff like this, you know. So it, like the drilling is helping. Like I think like exactly when you have a Conte that likes to manage like this, the players that are going to benefit by far the most are the maybe the most limited players, you know, the ones that only have a couple of tools, you know, and he will then get the max out of those tools, you know. And one example I can point to in this game was, for example, Harry Winks, which was brilliant. I kind of feel like Conte basically just told him, stop your Winksy stuff now. What I need you to do is look how Kane comes back and gets the ball, and how he passes it for an assist, or like a long, like through the lines, long ball, and opens up the defense. I need you to do that. Don't think about anything. I need you to defend really hard, and I need you to do that. And like that's all you need to think about. And that's something Winks can do. He is a good passer. He is actually pretty good at the long pass, you know. And he can put a shift in. He's an okay runner. For me, the revelation, the unbelievable side of the day was Steli. He was the man of the match for me.
Wow, man of the match.
The fight in him, the vision in him, the bravery. Just I am like he was.
Is that because Jory, you're so didn't expect it?
I mean, yeah, of course, it is probably the effect of our you know, evaluation of Delhi has just gone down.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But Delhi has always kind of been a young, good kid, you know, blossoming. We've always wanted, let's see the full potential, whatever. The Delhi that was out there tonight was a grown man, and he was a warrior. He was an angry, grown man. And I've never really seen Delhi like that. And I've seen him pissed off. I've seen him moping and so on, like a spoiled kid, you know.
But never channeling his aggression like he did tonight.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So like I was really, really shocked, and I thought like it was like his shot, you know, it was on target. It was the wrong corner, but I cannot fault the man for all that work.
No, of course,
in that split second, you know, choose the wrong corner. I mean, he
constantly got to those positions to be the pass.
Exactly. You
and that's the hard thing. You've got to get there. You've got to be the way out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You said it, Brains, best, I think, when you said we have to simply be thankful for people getting into chances. The fact that they maybe need a lot of chances, like now, this is quite unlike Son and Kane, for example, needing this amount of chances. We are actually the clinical team, you know, and like you said, Ben, we out XG Liverpool tonight. So how often does that happen? But you know, having a high XG and a low score is of course not good either. So,
Jory, do you like that then? That because sometimes we were saying to each other like, This kind of looks pretty good, like Kane, Son, and Dele kind of as a attacking force. I mean, I like that idea of Dele coming from deep and then being
because
there.
if you think of it, guys, like Kane did not go back one time tonight, and
I said that in the thing. I was like, Kane is not needing to do it. Yeah.
No,
I mean, there were a couple of moments, but on the whole,
He didn't drop back he dropped back to defend and just take part of the middle, but he didn't get back to get the ball like we've seen him so many times.
Yeah.
Winks and Dele both made sure that he could stay up top. Once he stood up top, they started doing the old stuff like on the Dele chance. Kane, like Dele comes with a late run, and Kane draws the whole defense in one direction, and it's nothing but open space for Dele after that, you know. So Conte has clearly been watching some old Pochettino tapes and is starting to work on that, you know, because that was super effective, efficient. What are you going to do when you got Kane running loose in the box? You're going to follow him. There's no other option. So,
exactly.
Yeah, and the fact about Dele, and I've said it, I said Dele flatters to deceive and whatever. The fact is, he has great technique. The fact is, he has the tools. He just needs the structure and the implementation and the direction now. And
also the belief of someone to come in.
You can see that reaping through. You can see that reaping through all those players now, can't you, Jory? You know, Winks, even Sanchez today. How many headers did he win? How many times was he getting the ball away? You know what I mean? Davinson Sanchez.
For me, Sanchez, he saved us 2 goals today for sure. So one for sure. Like I think that would never go anywhere. The sliding tackle was going in all day long.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
And exactly the headers and all of that. The same with Dele. Dele had it out more than anybody, I think, on the set pieces. So. That's not something I'm used to seeing from Dele, you know, being the guy that's fighting the most in the box, you know. So.
And so, has your opinions changed then on kind of like what you do with Dele going forward? Are you
not just Dele, Winks,
Dele, Winks,
you know, a lot of them.
As there players talk about through Dele and Winks? Obviously, there's players that maybe we need to back up. Maybe we need stronger right backs and stuff. But are you looking at like Dele going, you know, maybe he needs more chance. Winks, we can keep him in the team, or do we need to, because they're looking pretty good now, take this chance to get good numbers for them, and then bring bigger names in?
Yeah, well. In regards to those things, like for example, now I do think we have an opportunity to. I think if Dele puts in more performances like this before the window, then we will actually probably get a pretty penny from Newcastle if we want, and that's something we should definitely be looking at, because we do need to refresh no matter what. You know, it's freaking fantastic that we can be this broken winged and still be hanging in the top 4, you know. Like I actually sent Hugh Wiss, was watching him freak out over how awesome Arsenal was or whatever, and I said, like, you're not in 4th, mate, you know. Look at games in hand, look at Spurs, you know, we're coming for you.
Don't get comfortable.
And so I think it's I think, to be honest, I would say since this game went this way, we're likely to get full points for the games in hand. Conte will be absolutely doing everything. Conte's going crazy now. I think he's not gonna even settle. He's not going top 4 now. He's going to take the Chelsea spot. That's what he wants to do. And I'm telling you, this is his plan in his head. He sees the opportunity for it, because if we go 3rd, then Levy has, like, the guy that owns the complete club in the summer will be Conte, and he will get the transfer window.
Daniel Levy's got to hand over the keys, my friend.
Shut your fucking mouth, you bald supervillain cunt. You give us the fucking keys to the kingdom.
And I'll let you know when you can come back in, Levy. You know?
But Jory, let me ask you this. I mean, does this performance maybe will Daniel Levy turn around now and saying maybe there's not too much money to spend in January?
Yeah, well, that's the whole dance, you know, and you have to be able to foresee how Levy. I mean, Levy's probably worried about the whole COVID situation or whatever, but Levy will also use any situation to go the cheap route, you know. The thing is, we know this is and the board seems to be fed up with it as well. We don't have the option of going the cheap route. There's nothing that's been more expensive for this club than going the cheap route when it comes to players, you know. So now we only have the option to basically do what we need to do. And I'm not one to agitate for spending, you know, crazy money just for the sake of it. I just want solid players. I know that Conte is not looking for that. He's looking for really, really solid Serie A players mostly, which is a very good league to be picking from now. And Paratici is the genius who's going to get them done for extremely little money, really, you know, as we see like how they're working on the Kessie deal, you know, so on. I would definitely want to see them push the boat out for Vlahovic or something like that.
Yeah,
it's going to be difficult for sure. I mean, I heard that Newcastle is preparing a £85 million bid for it.
85 million to get relegated is it's a big decision to make.
Well, I'm sure that Dusan will throw that out as soon as he gets it. But but that's kind of maybe setting the tone for the whole thing, you know. But
do you think as a player, if a player's mentality, you know, like a player's mentality is, it's not just about the deal, it's not just about the money, because obviously that's not really at the heart of football. It is a big deal for the agents.
Especially, I think like a Dusan, like a proud Serbian leader, he's all about the glory. That guy.
Do you think? Do you think he would look like players like that would look at go like Conte's at the ship there? He's at the helm of that ship. And they look like they're on the up. You know what I mean? Like
Dusan is you know, macho through and through. Conte is a dream manager for him, I'm sure. I don't know about Tottenham, but Conte is for sure, and Paratici is a legend in the Serie A anyway. So I think all of that is working with us. I think maybe our club is working against us a little bit in that terms, but I think the people that know actually, like you guys know Chelsea pundit Rory, right? Yeah. So he loves to make fun of us, of course. But he did one video when we got Conte.
I saw that. I did see that as well. Yeah.
And he said, and which I completely agree with him. He said, "This is one Spurs got right, you know, and this is hopefully the."
He said we get top four.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, exactly, and he's right, and it's hopefully also just in general the culture change that we've been hoping for, calling for a long time, you know. So I think we're onto something. Even this season, it's gonna really surprise us all. We've ridden. I said to you guys that if we didn't go if we weren't going to buy anything worthwhile this summer, we wouldn't make, or you know, top 10 would be my biggest hope, you know. But and we got Romero and so on, but I'm thinking, you know, anything can happen. But I'm thinking the plan at least is not only to get into the top 4, but solidify us there. Like
Be
title challenge next year, Jory.
For sure, that's the plan. That's
for sure, I love it.
No,
but to be a strong team that's constantly there, that's constantly like, you know, not shitting the bed after like 3-4 games, and you know, like, but to be a constant strong team, to be a club that good players want to come and play for. Like last window, you can't get big players. How many times do we lose out on a big name? We need to be that team that Dybala wants to play for. That Bruno Fernandes wanted to play for.
If we had backed Pochettino as we should have back when, we 100%. Would have been a London version of a Liverpool, whatever, we would have the whole back office working in unison with this world-class manager.
Yeah.
Now that's going to happen. I think, like, I really truly am a believer now that the factor of Conte, the amount of leverage and credibility that Conte and Paratici brings, is like out trumps anything that Levy can do, and Levy is losing his hold on the board as well. So I think, like I said, that I truly believe that Conte now, since we got away with a point here, he is now going to set his aim at actually getting above Chelsea. And if he does that, then the conversation is over. He can buy whatever he needs to buy, and he is going to win us the title next season.
All right, I love that. I love that, Jory. Absolutely. Such a pleasure speaking to you, especially after such a good performance.
It's like,
Big up, Jory. We'll speak to you soon, man.
Drop the mate.
Take care, guys.
Nice one, Jory.
Come on. Love that from Jory.
Get next one on. I can't handle these 3 years without constant peace. What are you doing here?
All right, let's bring on Stelios. How's it going, my friend?
How you doing, guys? You all right?
All good, mate. How are you?
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised. I think, like many Spurs fans, I thought tonight we were going to lose, but you know, we competed, and I think that's the most important thing. Today we competed, and that's all I want from a Spurs team. I don't expect anything from Tottenham anymore because we're Tottenham. But if we're competing, then something is possible, right? And today we definitely competed. So that was really, really pleasing for me to watch.
Let me ask you, Stel, from a tactical point of view, how did you assess that in terms of, you know, the three in midfield with Dele Alli, Winks and Ndombele? How did you think it worked for us today?
I think Conte was brilliant with his tactics until the last 10 minutes. So for me, what I saw was we played a 5-3-2.
Yeah.
And we played 3 centre-backs to counter Mane, Jota and Salah.
Yeah.
And we didn't really allow the wing-backs to push up. So Sessegnon and Dave, who's the other wing back we had today? I forgot.
It was Sessegnon and Emerson.
Emerson, that's it. They didn't really bomb up too much in the first half. They were quite deep, and that was to contain Trent and Robertson.
Yeah.
And by playing 3 in the middle, what that allowed us to do was, let's say they tack us down one side of the pitch. One of the 3 in the middle can shift across, which is what I was saying on the tactics show we did last week on WeAreTottenhamTV.
Brilliant show, by the way.
Oh, wait till tomorrow, man. I'm going in tomorrow. But thanks anyway, dude. And it allowed one of the holding mids to shift across. So we had the wing back and the holding mid shifting over, both on the same side of the pitch, which allowed us to nullify the wing backs. And we did that quite well for most of the game. And by having 3 in the middle, it meant that we still had 2 holding mids should Liverpool switch the play to the middle of the park and try and come down the middle. That was deliberately done.
But that's the benefit of 5-3-2, right? Like, it gives you the extra man. It gives you the extra move over and take extra space up. Like, that's the balls of 5-3-2, isn't it?
Depending on who you play. When you're playing a team that's got phenomenal wing backs like Liverpool, makes sense. If we weren't playing Liverpool, it wouldn't make sense because I don't think any other team attacks with wing backs the way Liverpool do in the league. I think we're a team that's trying to do that, but Conte did it deliberately today to nullify the biggest strength of Liverpool, which is their front 3 and the wing backs. At the same time, again, I'll go back to the tactics show I said last week. I don't understand why Spurs don't have 2 players, or I do it with 4, but at least 2 players high up the pitch, ready for a transition into attack. Because by doing that, you're asking the question of the opposition, I'm going to keep 2 up there. What are you going to do about that? And Conte did that on purpose today because he knew Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago weren't playing. Without Henderson and Fabinho, there's no protection for the back line. So now he's forcing Liverpool to push players back because he hasn't got the protection. And without Virgil van Dijk at centre-back, it then forces Alisson into making mistakes. I've noticed Alisson makes mistakes when Van Dijk isn't there. And look at the second goal. That was a mistake. Brilliant through ball by Winks, by the way. But it was a mistake by Alisson. That happens when Van Dijk isn't in the back line. I think Conte's looked at it. He's seen the vulnerability and said, right, let me nullify them. 5 at the back, 3 in the middle. And let me expose their weakness of having these players out and playing too high up and keeping them there. Brilliant tactics. Absolutely brilliant from Conte. So for me, I think it was... Honestly, that's why he's a world-class manager. Because he can identify that and he knows how to implement a strategy to nullify an opposition and to also still make us effective in an attack.
Let me ask you this, Stel. I mean, I saw you on the WhatsApp groups before the game. I saw you making bets on Spurs not to make top 4 and all this kind of stuff. Has today's performance changed your mind in any way?
No. I think. What? Sorry to burst your bubble on that one, but no, because look, this is going to split opinion. It's just my opinion. It's how I see the game. Today was a missed opportunity, and I think that we blew it. Before kickoff, I would have said, please just get a draw, somehow get a point, and we move on.
Wait, hold it there then.
Yeah.
Then it can't be a missed opportunity.
It is, because what I saw then happen.
Oh, okay, but that's hindsight. That's hindsight. It can't be like, we are Tottenham. Look at the team we've put out. How unbelievably smashed we're gonna get, and then oh my God, they play so well. They do so good, but these fuckers have missed an opportunity. How do you say that?
Okay, let's say you predict that you're not going to win a game, but the opposition go down to 9 men. Wouldn't you be kicking yourself that you didn't win it?
Yeah, of course.
Against the world's best team, one of the 2 best teams in the world, even if they lose a player.
Without Van Dijk, Origi, Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago.
Yeah, but we're coming back from COVID.
Yeah, we're coming back from 13 players. We haven't even been able to train.
Yeah, Skip did come on and play.
Yeah, but we haven't been able to train like more than maybe 2 sessions.
Let me explain to you why I think it's a missed opportunity. Because as soon as they went down to 10 men, I'm looking at that thinking, is Conte going to go for it, or is he just going to play it a bit safe because he's worried of what Liverpool still might do with the players they've got on the pitch? And he kind of went halfway, but not all the way. So he brought on Lucas Moura. I totally get that, because now he's got someone that can drive at them and really put the pressure on them. But by taking Ndombele off, we lacked a player that could play a killer pass.
Yeah, but we're a team that lacks a player that can do that in general.
But Winks did it for the second goal, and Ndombele did it for the first goal.
But
so
he kept
we do
Winks
have
on.
the players that. Sorry, say again.
He kept Winks on though.
Yeah, but he took one of them off. So what I'm thinking
Ndombele wasn't doing it all the time though. Once Ndombele is playing kind of a dud for about 20 minutes, you got to get him off. He's clearly dead.
But Liverpool down to 10 men, Brains. This is the point I'm making. Once they've gone down to 10 men, they are now there for the taking. So I get what you're saying, but it's still Liverpool. They still have better quality in every position than us. They're still the better team. Maybe a player down. Brains, we created one opportunity when Liverpool went down to 10 men. One. And it was the Ben Davies effort that I don't know if he took a shot or a cross, but it didn't work.
It looked like a cross to me, yeah.
I can't really tell if it was a bad shot or a
split in 2 minds, you know what I mean?
Was Kane's header over the bar once Robertson was off?
No.
No,
that was before, I think.
So for me, what he did was he brought on Moura to drive at them. And the only one time Moura got on the ball to drive at them, we won a free kick.
But why did Klopp feel the need to take attacking players off and save the game?
I mean, after the red card, they took off Sadio Mane and they took off Jota and brought on Gomez and Tsimikas.
They shut the game down. So you could be saying like, oh, well, we should have been, Spurs. We should have been like pile driving the best team in the world, but also their manager puts on
wait, hear me out.
defensive things, and he shuts the game down.
That's not what I'm saying. I don't care what Liverpool do. I care about what we do. And what I saw was they went down to 10 men, and we brought on Mora, which I said was a really good idea. But then we still lack someone that can play a pass. I would have brought on Lo Celso because he does have that in his locker. And I would have played Mora and Lo Celso as attacking mids. Instead, the mistake we made, I get why Conte did it, but it didn't work. He brought on Reggie. Reggie did nothing. I think that was a wrong play because for me, Sessegnon, he was actually defending really, really well. And he had their wing back in his pocket for most of the game. And he did quite a decent job on Salah in most parts of the game. Listen, I'm not saying Conte, what have you done? I love Conte. I've just praised the system he played and why he did it and the two up top. Because that's something I was saying last week. I don't understand why we don't ask that question. And today he did it and it was working.
Yeah.
But for me, I just felt Liverpool were there, man, for the taking.
They were. And
to only create that one chance in 15 minutes with them being down to 10 men, it's because we didn't put the overload in that attacking mid area. That's my view. Listen, we might have done it and it didn't work. But
we could have easily lost that game 3-2 though. Because
still, even without those 10 minutes, right, Liverpool was still there for the taking, right? We had so many chances, clear-cut chances to win that game.
Oh, listen, in normal time, right, let's have it right. The passing between the front players today was piss poor, man. The other than the one pass by, I think it was Kane to Son. No, to Dele Alli, when Dele Alli missed that chance.
The one-on-one, yeah.
Yeah, oh man.
Oh, Son to Dele Alli, that one. That clear through on.
It was Son to Dele, yeah.
Well
Son
done.
to Dele.
Son to Dele Alli. But other than that, the passing amongst the front two to set each other up, it just wasn't good enough. The pass from Kane to Son was bobbling. The pass from Dele Alli to Kane, it wasn't smooth on the ground. I just felt, I didn't think Son had a good game today, by the way. I thought Son had a pretty bad game.
Yeah.
But very heavy touches time and time again from Sonny today.
Do you know what I think it is with Son? He's used to playing out wide as a left-sided player. But the way Conte's playing, it's either 3 across the top, or today he did 2. And Son is becoming more of a central attacking player, and he needs time to adjust to that role. I think he will do it. I think Son will adjust, but Conte's adapting him as a player, and I feel that's going to take time.
But Son did play in that role with 2 up front in Germany. He was actually brutal when he played in that role. It was like, wow, this guy is like an incredible, number 9. And it's like now it's spent years at Spurs playing in the front 3. It's like you're going to have to make these adjustments. He can be a brilliant. What I liked was that there was so many opportunities for that ball, that little ball across the box. And yeah, they just didn't make it work. It was the final ball. But those are the moments that are like high pressure moments. Like, as a player, this is the very moment that's going to win the game, not the finish. My pass here, and everything's on you in that moment. And those were the moments where we just kind of didn't do the job.
And that's why, guys, I don't think we'll get top 4, because today was a game. After watching it, we so could have won it, man. We could have beaten the Liverpool, and we just didn't quite do it. Listen, still positive. Like you said, Brains, I agree with you, by the way, buddy. Because before the game, I thought if we can just get a draw, great. And we got that. So I'm not disappointed. That's why, I am happy. But in hindsight, looking at it and just watching it, you're thinking, oh, come on, Spurs. It's moments like that.
But remember,
really
still,
make the difference.
We don't have to win this league. We're talking about top 4. We're talking about getting more points than West Ham, Man U against the big teams. Man U got beat 5-0 against these guys.
Stel. Don't mention it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they won 4-0 against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have done something pretty special today. Surely that ignites our belief. If it can't ignite our belief, how can it ignite the team's belief?
Oh no, you can believe whatever you want. I mean, go for it.
Sure.
Believe. Everyone believe.
Before Conte came, before these games, even like before Burnley got called off, I was thinking we're going to lose that game. I had no belief. I had no faith. But now 5 games in a row, and you're looking at like maybe they're getting the right system down. Maybe players who are normally kind of, I had no belief in Sessegnon. All of a sudden, this looks like an all right player. You know, now it starts to look like, okay, like we could go up against West Ham, and this is where the truth will be told. You know, like we'll go up against West Ham, see what happens. If against West Ham we turn out piss poor and the belief's gone, yeah, it's done. Well, there's no way we'll get top 4. But I think at least we got to go into that West Ham game thinking.
But hold on. The last person that spoke on the show, or the one before, said that, oh, Martinelli, who's he? He scored a goal against a piss poor, depleted West Ham defence. Now we're praising West Ham before we play them. You know, it can't be both ways.
West Ham's done a great job this season, I'm saying, but they might be they might be having a bit of a stumble. But I'm saying that I'm just saying the next game against them's got to tell.
I don't look at West Ham as a top 4 candidate. They're not getting top 4.
But they're a good.
As well.
But
I agree with you.
But they're a decent team.
They're not getting top 4,
right?
They're a decent team.
They're a top 10 team that we. So from here on out, we need to be getting points and wins against.
They're not consistent
against everyone, right? You know, we need to be getting wins. My point is if we come off of a great result like that and then go and West Ham beats us, this fucking season's done. There's literally nothing that we can say that we're going to get from this season.
Brains, look, for me, the reason I say we're not going to get top 4 is partly because of moments that we just need to be taken that I don't think we are taking just yet. That could change, though. But the biggest reason is the squad.
Before the game, Harry Kane wasn't scoring. No, he is.
He also missed about 5 chances today.
But he scored a goal.
And if he scores one more, we win the
game. Next game, he might score again. But these things...
Maybe, but
what do you think confidence is? Confidence is not a thing. Like when you have no goals and you go into a game, confidence is dead.
You're changing the subject here. My point is the squad depth. I don't think we have the squad depth to get top 4. I think because we're in so many competitions, is Conte going to start mugging off competitions? No, he's not. Because he's not. I don't think he's that kind of a manager. I think he's a bit like Mourinho. I want to win as much as we can, because it's easy to say, "Oh, forget the European Conference Cup," but if you mug that off, that's a bit of a negative vibe you're bringing to the club. I think enough to go for it.
Still, what if we go out now? Like, if the ruling shows that we go out straight away, no fault of our own, we're out the Conference League. Does that give you more hope that we can finish top 4 this year?
I do not think we get top 4 unless we bring in 3 or 4 key signings in January and we purely focus all out on top 4. And I said this a couple of weeks ago on another show. If we go full focus, like Arsenal, they've got no European football, full focus, all on top 4, and we play our best team in every Premier League game, and we bring in 3 or 4 top players as either starting players or really strong cover for key areas like centre-back, like holding mid, like attacking mid, like striker, then it's on. But right now, and I'm only talking about now because, we don't know what's going to happen in January. But right now, I think we'll fall short. I really do.
Football's really fickle
End of January, I might change my mind though, Brains. Come end of January, I might say, hold on a minute. We bought some really good players for the positions we need.
Yeah.
Top 4's on.
My thing is, before this game and before, I was hoping for a lot of the time, like any games we can get called off. Obviously, I want to see Spurs play. I was like hoping, let's get them all called off because I don't believe in the team. It's like, but we've now got 5 games in a trot. I'm not saying that's enough to like go on and continue on. I'm not saying I think just because it's a great win today, that doesn't mean that Levy has the the excuse to not invest. I still say, because it's not just investing for the rest of the season, it's about next season as well. I say you need big players, and I get like people are we're not like we're scared that we're not going to be the team that gets Vlahovic. We can't afford to have that mentality. We need to get the big players. We need to believe that we're a big club. Levy has got to put the faith in Conte. So when a player like that is available and he's shown intent to want to play for a club like us, just go and get him. And then get like the regista you need. Get the strength in the midfield you need. Get the players that Conte needs for his system.
I agree.
And then we could be really talking about a challenge.
I think every Spurs fan will agree with what you've just said. But basically what he's saying is back the manager. We've been saying that for
100%.
about 400 years.
There's no point in
Could you
him
just
being
please
here.
back the manager?
That
Of course.
that result today means nothing if you don't. It means absolutely nothing.
You saying today, Stel, 2 points drop then?
No. I'm saying before the game, I said if we get a draw, I'll take that. I'll be super happy, and I am happy. But having watched the game, I'm just saying we missed an opportunity. An opportunity presented itself to us that we didn't think was going to happen, and we just blew it, man. We could have taken 3 points, made a really big statement. But okay, Conte's unbeaten in the Premier League. Happy days, man. Happy days.
All right, we move on. Stel, I look forward to your tactics show this week. Go on.
Very quickly. I just want to say, everyone watching the show, please keep up your support for Bob Spur, Bobby C.
100%.
Let's keep showing the love. Listen, people that are in a coma, when people go and visit them, then they talk to them. Positive energy, subconsciously they hear it, and if we can just keep that up, maybe it'll filter through to him and help him out. So I just wanted to get that message across to everyone.
Yeah, that 100%. Is the most important message of the show, that's for sure. But Stel, absolute pleasure having you on, and we'll see you very soon.
Come on, Tottenham.
Spurs. Love that. And I just want to echo those thoughts that
100%
that Stel was talking on Bob, because it's a very bad situation at the moment with Bob, and I just want to extend all my best wishes, all my thoughts, all my prayers, everything in me. Don't care about anything else, but we need Bob to get better. That's the main crux of the matter. But let's move on to the last show of the day. And that is the pre-match pump-up king, Mr. Irish Hotspur. Dave, how's it going, man?
There he is.
Absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing.
Come on.
Happiest man on the planet after Kane scored. That's what I was thinking.
Look, form is temporary, class is permanent. That's all I'm going to say on that. I expect these things. Some people gave up on Sir Harold Edward Kane. Not me.
Absolutely love that. I mean, what pleased you most about the performance today?
Kane scoring. No, look. Don't get me wrong. I was absolutely buzzing. I was singing songs. I was singing Kane, a bit of a Kane song to Oasis and everything else. I was absolutely loving life. But no, what impressed me most is, look, one of the last fan cams that was clipped on, it was put out there, over 10k views or something like that, and I absolutely berated the players, and rightly so that day, and I stand by everything I said. But today, big up every single one of them. Sessegnon, Winks, even Ndombele may not have had the greatest game, but got the assist for the Kane goal. Dele Alli, I thought, a bit in the final third, maybe completely off it, probably should have had a goal today, or at least an assist. Didn't really happen. But, he had a very good performance overall. And I just want to say a special mention to them all. Sessegnon coming in. I mean, you're talking about a kid that has had a long injury layoff, hasn't really got a sniff at Tottenham, was sent out on loan, never really lived up to expectations. Yeah. And today, as soon as Klopp left Liverpool, he went straight down to the local Garda station and put in a missing persons report, because last time the team Mo Salah was getting off the bus at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, And I'm special mention to Sessegnon, completely pocketed Mo Salah. Absolutely love it.
They should look in Sessegnon's back pocket, and that's probably where they'll find him. If his family's worried, that's probably where they'll find him.
I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't believe the performance Sessegnon put in. Like, there was one in the first half at one stage, we were a bit under the cosh at one stage, and there was a ball that they tried to sneak in behind from Mo Salah. And I was worried. As soon as I seen it, I was like, here's trouble. And it would have been very, very easy for Sessegnon to switch off, and he didn't. He read it and got in the way, stopped that ball from going through. And just from there, I knew he was going to have a good game. You know what I mean? At one stage, I expect the Sky Sports camera over and Sessegnon have him in the corner, give him a nuggie. You know what I mean? Harry Winks, another player I want to say a massive big up to. Absolutely performed today. When we needed him, he stepped up.
Forward passes in there, Dave. What was that all about?
Honestly, his passing was exceptional. Absolutely exceptional today. But you know what I was more impressed with, Ben? He got stuck in, which is something I'm not used to seeing from Harry Winks. He got absolutely stuck in. He was closing down. He put in a very, very good performance in midfield today. I'm very, very happy all around, I have to say. I'm just so proud of the boys. Look, I get it. Some people may be a bit upset that we didn't go and win the game. I can fully understand that. But look, at the end of the day, if you sit there and ask yourself, we didn't expect anything coming into this game whatsoever, especially when we all seen the lineup on the pre-match pump-up. I felt like turning it off. You know, what is the point? But at the end of the day, you know, we got the result, a result that was completely unexpected. I know we had a lot of missed chances and big chances. Let's be honest, they were all clear-cut chances. But on another day, that goes our way. But what really gives me confidence moving forward is if anyone remembers that game under Jose at Anfield after Bergwijn's big misses. Now, when we missed some of them chances in the first half, I could almost feel that they were going to get the equaliser. I was like, it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
But even though they even got the equaliser and then went and got the second, we went straight back up more or less after a couple of minutes and scored. And that shows to me a shift and a change in mentality, especially with Son's words beforehand, which he delivered on, by the way, where he said, you know, we're not going to make it easy for them, and I'm not going to let Liverpool walk away with here from the 3 points. And that's exactly what happened. So Jurgen Klopp, Andy Robertson, where's his little celebration now? Why didn't he do that when he was getting sent off? That was me right after he got sent off, doing the binoculars, looking for him on the pitch. Absolute muppet, giving it the big one. Do one, clapping all them Liverpool fans and everyone else. Fuck back off up there. I absolutely hate you, and I'm absolutely buzzing. I am delighted. I'm over the moon. You know, my missus' boyfriend, he's a Liverpool fan, and he's going to be there for Christmas, so I didn't want to just sit there.
Wait, did you say your missus' boyfriend?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
My sister's boyfriend is a Liverpool fan.
Oh, yeah, your sister's. I thought you said your missus's boyfriend.
Oh, no. Sorry. My sister's. Sorry.
They roll in Ireland. What can you say? It's all
in the modern world these days.
No, don't worry. Look, we don't rock like that. You know, we don't rock like that. No, it was my sister's boyfriend. He's a Liverpool fan. I'm just delighted now because I didn't want to have to sit across the Christmas table. I'm just looking at him, hating him. You know what I mean? Now I can just sit there and buzz off him.
Smug as fuck.
Because, you know, all the Liverpool fans will be crying tonight. I put out a tweet, you know, of the famous picture of the Liverpool fan crying, you know, Mammy, it's happened again. Absolutely. But honestly,
Dave, just before you move on, let me ask you this question. You know, you're talking about the performances from Winks, Dele, Ndombele, these kind of players. Has this performance changed anything in your mind in terms of who we need to get rid of?
Do you know what? I was hoping you didn't ask me that question because, to be honest with you, I don't want to rain on their parade today. But look, if we are sitting here and being honest with ourselves, it's a one-off. We haven't seen this consistently over the last few years, which is ultimately what my problem is with these guys, is not seeing it properly. I mean, we've seen Winks do it against Real Madrid and then today against Liverpool. Now, if he could do that consistently, yeah, fair enough. But as it stands right now, unless they get rolled out more and they prove to me that they can start doing it on a consistent basis and that they do want to be here, I still stand that maybe if we can look at better options, why not do it? Because you think about, we look at better options, who knows? We'd absolutely play Liverpool off the park and probably slap them, you know?
Yeah, like with in the next game, Højbjerg and Skip available, do you start Winks? And that's a tough one.
Do you know what? It's hard not to after today's performance. You know, you got to give it to the guy. He did put in a Warriors performance. I'll be honest, the first minute I was very worried. The Sky Sports camera to Harry Winks and he was wide-eyed looking like he was in the trenches again. But, you know, thankfully he was in the trenches and it was all in there for the right reasons today. He really led in midfield, which I was very surprised about. Do I start him in the next game? I do think it's very hard to drop him after this game. Look, he's always asked for run of games. You can't take him out now. You've got to roll him out against West Ham. And may I add, didn't his first goal ever come for Tottenham against West Ham? So why not put him out there? And look, then it's a toss-up between Skip and Højbjerg. Until Winks stops performing, you can't really take him out on today's performance, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and I never thought I'd be saying this. I never ever thought I'd be saying this.
I know, Dave. We know. In terms of Harry Kane today, was that a sending off for you?
No, look, you know, they can cry all they want. Honestly, they can cry all they want. Honestly, Robertson should have got a yellow card for even touching Harry Kane when he jumped over him that time. He jumped over him. The difference was Harry Kane slid underneath the ball. The ball went underneath over him. He was underneath the ball. Robertson was completely over the ball.
Yeah,
that's the difference on the challenge. And that's why Harry didn't get sent off and Robertson did. But look, at the end of the day, who cares? I mean, I watched the season where Liverpool won the Premier League and all they got was penalty decision after penalty decision after decision. At times, some of them had time to have a Kit Kat, dunking in a cup of tea, while they were trying to find a reason to give Liverpool penalties and other decisions. Now it went against them. You're seeing them absolutely crying. You're seeing Jurgen Klopp moaning and crying. You know, honestly, just give it a break. You got done over today. Take it and head back up and just be humble, you know. And this is my problem. We're not humble. You see Klopp today, about 10, 15 minutes interview on Sky Sports after, just moaning. Take the humbling. You receive it. It's Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas from the Irish Hotspur, We Are Tottenham TV, and every Spurs fan worldwide, and get back up there where you belong.
And on that note, Dave, absolutely sensational. Big up to yourself. Big up for another great fan show, or Fear Match fan show, and we'll see you next time, my friend.
No, look, Wednesday, roll on Wednesday. We got the hammers, baby. Everyone get the cocktail sticks. Get ready to burst some bubbles because it's happening. Let's go. And I'll see you all then for the final pre-match pump-up before Christmas. Come on, you Spurs. And in Conte we trust, baby. We are on the move.
Come on, Dave. That's exactly what I like to hear. Dave. Another great call from the Irish Hotspur. On that note, I think that draws an end to the fan show. Let's see, how long have we been going for? 2.5 hour fan show today. So big up to all of you brains. Thank you for today. Thank you for coming in.
Absolute pleasure.
Watch along and fan show. And hopefully we'll see you a lot more.
I come in, we put on the performances.
Exactly. Maybe you're good luck. Maybe we need him here more. So, thank you everyone for calling in today. Thank you all for your comments and your interactions. I had a really good time today. I was dreading the worst when I was coming in when I saw that lineup, but the team duly performed. Any closing words from you?
Oh, come on, you Spurs! Let's keep it going. Let's keep this momentum. Let's get the positivity. If we believe as a fan base, surely if we expect the players to believe, we have to believe as well. In Conte, we trust. We can do this.
All right, big up everyone. Thank you everyone for watching today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs!